Good afternoon, all present here. So, we will begin with the second session, that is Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. Our session chairs are Dr. Rajendra Pratap Singh, Dr. Paresh Kumar Goel, and Dr. Verma. Dr. Rajendra Pratap Singh is an assistant professor at the School of Computational and Integrative Sciences, Jawan Nehru University, Delhi, India. He completed his PhD from Delhi College of University of Delhi in 2013. His research specializes in graph theory, battery net theory, data science, machine learning, and molecular biology. Dr. Singh has published over 60 research papers and is for proposing the theory of and biology battery nets. Dr. Manish Kumar Goyal is a skilled data engineer at Google LLC based in Texas with a strong focus on building and optimizing data solutions, specializing in big data technologies and cloud computing. He brings valuable experience in working with Google AI and advanced data infrastructure. Dr. Manish is proficient in designing and building a scalable data solution that delivers crucial business insights. His expertise includes executing database migration, developing efficient and reliable data pipelines, and ensuring optimal data performance. Dr. Garina holds a PhD and MPhil in management alongside multiple postgraduate qualification in marketing and export management. With over 20 years of diverse experience across industry, academics, and research, she currently serves as a head of Amity Center for Entrepreneurship Development and associate professor at Amity University, Noida. She has worked extensively with MSME, NSIC, NSDC, and Ministry of Defense. A certified global trainer and innovation ambassador, she is a global member of IIM Lucknow's startup program and a coach for Delhi's Business Blaster initiative, passionately guiding youth towards entrepreneurial success. Now we will begin with our paper presentations. So the first paper title is Artificial Intelligence Enables Smart Education Systems. The authors are Ajay Kumar Verma and Ajay Kumar.
Now we can give
Yeah, six are there, sir. Sir, it's okay. Let them talk. So 6, 7 minutes के रखिए और 3 minutes आपका interaction.
Yes, excellent. Now you have 7 to 8 minutes for the presentation, 2 minutes for question and answer. 5 to 6 minutes. Oh, that's fine. Please, you can remind me. Sure.
Good afternoon to all of you. Hello, faculties, panels, and colleagues, and all the students. So, I'm Ajay Kumar Sharma. I'm presenting my paper on the artificial intelligence enabled smart education system. And I am presenting this paper under the supervision of the Professor T.V. Kumar. Right. So, let me start this point. These are the outlines about my paper. So, basically, education, we know that this is the baseline of the everything. A country can be built with the education only. Nothing else can be replaced the education. So the traditional approach was going to be performed like that students are learning books and technique things in a very traditional way. But nowadays, the AI should be integrated with education so that the things can be automated and that can be more enhanced and more effectively. The time taken process will be reduced and the productivity of the education and the result should be increased. So we are saying that that AI can help out reduce the problems and it enhance the flexibility of the things. Right. So the learning of the students is depends on their own skills. Like we all have studied a lot of courses online basis. So whenever we require, we can take a pause from the course. We can take the continuation. We can take the 15 minutes of course, 30 minutes of course, or the 2 hours of the session. It all depends on ourselves, on our decisions. Still, these work for the faculties also that the instructor can design their things in a different way so that they can map their things, they can design their curriculum, assignments, and everything. So the student can follow these things and the faculty can get the main focus on the student and they can work together make things more easier for the students and faculty as well. And the overall thing is going to develop the education system. Right. So we know that the AI is working.
Yes, sir.
Zoom your.
Yes, we are having our own मतलब networks मतलब सारे purchased है. तो हमारी जितनी मीटिंग्स वगैरह होती है या तो MS ऑफिस, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ऑफिस का, MS टीम.
So AI technology can evaluate the data, make a prediction, find out their patterns, and make the useful decisions where it's required. Right. So application areas like a healthcare, transportation, media, finance, real estate, wholesale, everywhere the AI is working in cybersecurity and everywhere. So this is a trend which I found in the Newsweek report, and very strong saying that after the 2015, once the 2013, till the 2016, the frequently dropouts are found. Right. So the students enrolled in the post-secondary education in the first time in the fall season of the 2017. It is a report belongs to the US. Right. So the 6-year completion rate is more than fall when initially it was increased, but after the 2012 and 13 years dropped. After 50% dropped. So it happens that inflation drop. There are many factors we have seen also in our domain, like the 2019 COVID. It is also decreased the education system and many people face a lot of problems regarding this. So this is the something we are talking about. Like if we enabled the education system with the AI, then it will help out the students so they are not going to make a drop of the education. They will continue their education as per their requirement. Maybe a lot of things gonna perform and a lot of things are going to happen in a positive way, positive approach. Right. So, like a grading system and minimizing the dropouts and suggesting the vocational studies, those information can be predicted using the AI model. But the demographic locations, what are their financial conditions, their academic reports, all these things can be covered up with the AI. Right. So that's it's also the AI focuses in AI. I'm working on education, and this is a literature review. A lot of things are well known in education domain, like the NLP used, the machine learning models are implemented on like data sets and education data. So a lot of things are happening also. A lot of things are released, still remain to be performed. Right. So my literature which I am showing you, some of the papers are there, I will mention all of them, approximately plus papers I have read. So as a research gap, I have found the next number of data sets are there and models are not appropriate to work with the different domains and feature selections are not properly working for different models because the company domains are also there. So a lot of things have to be done so that we can make our AI model in a generic way which can work across the borders, across the domains and across the institutions. So as a that the challenges I found in the like the imbalance sets of the like data set and the data is not connected properly, maybe some technical issues, some human errors, and a lot of things can be possible there. So these are the opportunities like we can enhance the things. It's working on in different domains. Researchers and professors and scholars are working on that. But still there's a scope to work on that. Like that we can make a model which can work with the textual and text and non-textual data, and also the we can introduce automation of the system that which will take the feedback and make some judgments. So I'm going to conclude my things. So these are the things like as per my when I read these papers. So basically, to cover the first students mostly considered the final year students, and some researchers make advisory notes, concept, implement it, and find the things and implemented the machine learning models on that. So bring the prediction in a predictive. So to maximize the impact of the education system, that AI model should be adopted in the education so that things can be more effective and so these are the these are the references which I had followed. And some of the references are there, but not all of them. Thank you.
ये पहले डॉक्टर महेश गोयल को पूछ लेते ऑनलाइन है
Yeah, हूँ मैं यहाँ पहुँच
Yeah, hello sir, I'm Dr. Garima Agrawal with Professor Gajendra Pratap Singh. Sir, we request you to go first for the questions.
Yeah, so I have one question. I mean, this is pretty novel, but how would you gonna implement this for the poor people? Right, we have a lot of the education system. The gap is there in a region where people don't have money, right? So how does research gonna impact the education system for the poor people?
So, every country requires the support of the government and the social NGOs and everyone. Because until they are not going to perform their duties or they are not going to take responsibilities, everyone should be take responsibility for for those people who are not capable of things. Government should provide us some like that we have a SWAYAM courses that government introduces in our area. So we can use the NPTEL, we can use the YouTube platforms to learn from there. It really uh, I'm not saying that it's a zero cost, but it still takes a very much cost as compared to every other thing. So if someone wants to learn, that I think nobody can stop the person then who wants to learn.
All
And
right, yeah, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, I'm good from my side.
okay. Thanks, Professor Mahesh. Uh, can you say something about what is the future of AI in coming 2025 years for sustainable point of view? Sustainable. Sir, basically, definitely AI is going to perform a lot of things because if I'm going talking about that uh, if something is going to be create some models, if I'm able to create some models which can work with the different institutions, because every institution, MIT has a different kind of students and the data sets. Different universities have different data sets, and even though out of this country borders, but colleges and universities have a different data set. So we can make some model which can predict any kind of thing if we are able to make this kind of models. So it will make help out to find out the if the student is really facing some kind of issues, or if they are facing, then what kind of factors are responsible that he's facing the issues, or might be the student can be a dropout. So I think that multimodal concepts can be implemented, and using this uh, basically what I said, uh, things can be developed using the AI model in a way so that the multi-data sets can be worked for the same model. This is something. Thank you, Dr. Ajay. Any questions from the audience?
So when I was going through your presentation, it seems ki you want to showcase so many things, but these are not there. Actually, the very first thing which I realized, you are showcasing the data of America, of the dropouts and all that. Then you are talking about Indian communities. So there is a big difference between both the things. So how can you correlate both?
Ma'am, students, if I'm talking about the scenario of the people, that Yes, the question raised by the surveys online, that how the human program students can tackle. And the students are lies everywhere. In neither it not depends on the US or India or the Kenya or any other country. But we have to focus on the how they are going to face the issues. Financial issues are everywhere beyond the countries also, and same the social and the family issues are also there. So it's not, I don't think so, ma'am. Like these kind of factors are specific belongs to India only.
Your research first should be on the dropouts type who are going to be the part of it, because 57% you are talking about ki they are the dropouts from India. Okay, so we have to focus it. When the people are not having money even to buy a mobile or a handset or the gadget, so how they are going to implement AI? Moreover, in education system, it takes good time to launch anything. Like Government of India is targeting to launch something in secondary education. That too again 27, 28 it will come. Okay, so my suggestion is first of all, real time feedback you talked about.
Yes,
so, how AI can give you the real time feedbacks when still the data is not going to come in the manner we are expecting? That gap I have identified. Second, transforming education system. See, right now all three systems are working. If everything comes on AI, so, what is the use of having universities and all those things? Everybody will go on the AI run universities. So, the model you are talking about, obviously, it is going to be impacted one. So, these are the gaps. मतलब और भी है मैंने identify किए, but I won't target right now. But these are the things. So, be specific what you want to say. Okay. So, second, once you are talking about under 10th class, and then you are coming to the higher educations.
Right.
So, both the sets can't be the same.
Okay.
The reason for dropouts of the 10th class is quite different from the higher educations.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so please ये सारी चीजें मैंने आइडेंटिफाई करी हैं जो मुझे लगा कि ये गैप्स हैं, बहुत बड़े गैप्स हैं.
Okay.
So whenever we do case studies, we have to be very focused.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ajay. Very nice presentation. And
Thank you, sir. Everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. So now we will begin with the next paper, that is COVID mortality prediction using classification-based machine learning. Our authors are Saurav and T. Kumar.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Saurav. I'm presenting presenting COVID-19 mortality prediction using classification-based machine learning under the supervision of Professor T.V. Vijay Kumar. So this will be my outline. So COVID-19 pandemic has led to millions of lives worldwide, and that has caused a challenge to global health systems. It makes crucial for us to predict COVID-19 mortality in the early phases. ML provides powerful tools to analyze patient data and predict mortality risk accurately. This research uses classification-based ML techniques such as KNN, naive-based, random forest decision tree, XGBoost, CatBoost to predict COVID-19 mortality on a COVID-19 pre-condition dataset, which will help healthcare providers in data-driven insights. COVID-19 caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus emerged in 2019, and it quickly escalated into a global pandemic. It spreading via respiratory droplets, and primary symptoms of COVID-19 are fever, cough, runny nose, body ache, sore throat, shortness of breath, loss of sense of smell. Therefore, understanding and predicting COVID-19 mortality becomes crucial for mitigating its impact. So, WHO reports suggest that COVID-19 deaths have significantly declined from July 2023. because of vaccinations and improvements in healthcare sector. But still there is a persistent spike in the death. So as WHO reports mentioned that 6.9 millions of deaths have been noted till now, which underscores the significant and far-reaching impact of the pandemic on global public health systems. Figure 2 represents the recent and total COVID-19 deaths of COVID-19 according to WHO. It represents recent COVID-19 deaths from July 2023 to January 2025, and total COVID-19 deaths from January 2020 to January 2025. Now let's discuss why we need ML models for COVID-19 mortality predictions. ML models can capture complex patterns and handle imbalanced data sets with the help of precision recall, F1 score, AUC, ROC. And ML models can detect early risks in diseases. And ML models can also process and adapt to large scale data sets, which makes it suitable for detecting COVID-19 mortality. So these are the earlier studies done in the field of machine learning for predicting mortality in COVID-19 patients. Al-Mustafa and et al. In 2021 developed a machine learning model for classification of death and survived cases with the methods such as naive-Bayes stochastic gradient descent, J48 decision tree, random forest, KNN, and it has calculated matrices like accuracy, mean absolute error, root mean square error, ROC. The limitations of this studies are as the dataset was imbalanced, these metrics were not enough to provide a clear picture. So similarly, other studies are done. So now let's discuss about the COVID-19 patient precondition dataset. The dataset includes around 5,66,602 cases from Mexico, and this dataset is sourced from Mexican government website and Kaggle. The dataset contains around 23 features such as ID, sex, patient type, entry date, date symptoms, date died, in-tube, pneumonia, age, pregnancy, diabetes, COPD, asthma, insufflation, hypertension, other diseases, obesity, cardiovascular, renal, chronic, tobacco, contact other COVID results, ICU status, and the target class is derived from the date died, which is death, which is further classified into died and survived. The dataset is valuable for predicting patients' outcome and identifying key clinical factors influencing COVID-19 mortality. Table 1 represents the description of the dataset. ID is a string type of data attribute, and which represent alphanumeric unique code for each instance. Similarly, sex is a numeric type of dataset representing 1 for female, 2 for male, and similarly other attributes are represented. And 97 and 98 are known as missing values in this. So now these are for this experiment we have used 3 distributions: distribution 1, distribution 2, and distribution 3. Distribution 1 mirrors the baseline model distribution, and it contains 2 lakh features from the 5 lakh original data set, and totaling died samples of 12,714 and survived samples of 1,87,286. And for distribution 2 and distribution 3, these other distributions for died are 36,176 and survived are 1,63,824. And distribution 3 is an distribution of 36,176 and survived as 36,176. So distribution and distribution 3 are done for comparing our model. This is the proposed methodology. This is my proposed methodology. The methodology for predicting COVID-19 consists of 3 phases: data pre-processing, model training and testing, and evaluating data set. So in data pre-processing, we are imputing missing values, selecting important features, training and testing partitioning, feature scaling and normalization using standard scalar normalization. And in model training, I have selected 6 different models, and then I have done 5-fold cross validation using further, I have done hyperparameter tuning and uh, we have derived best models and retained them and test the best models on the test set. And further, we have evaluated our model using confusion matrix and performance matrix. So these were the experimental setup used for the experiment. So these are my results for distribution one. Experiment one on the distribution one. So XGBoost performed better in terms of accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score, mean absolute error, root mean square error, AUC, ROC. And similarly, on experiment 2, on distribution 2, XGBoost again performed better and performed well in terms of precision, recall, F1 score. And in earlier, precision, recall, and F1 score was not given. Okay. And in the distribution 3, again XGBoost performed better. And in the last distribution, I gained an AUC ROC of 0.99. So this is the confusion matrix for these experiments. This is the AUC ROC curve. And comparing our model with the base model. Base model haven't provided precision, recall, F1 score earlier. So as it is a type of imbalanced data set. So we have tried to achieve precision, recall, F1 score, and AUC ROC. Because
Please conclude.
Okay, these metrics provide better insights for imbalanced data set. Accuracy alone can be misleading. So future scopes will be to integrate explainable AI, multi-model ensembles, real-time deployment and monitoring, and cross dataset validation. In concluding my presentation, the XGBoost model outperformed the baseline model across several metrics, including AUC, ROC, mean absolute error. Additionally, we have included precision, recall, and F1 score, which were not provided in the base paper. Our proposed model achieved an AUC, ROC of 0.99. Thank you.
Dr. Goel, please.
Yeah, just one quick question. Did you identify any the bias in the data before you started? I mean, you had a different distribution to test, right, for the various the classification models, right? So did you identify any bias in the data? Did you fix anything on that?
Yeah, in the distribution one, we can see that due to imbalanced nature of the data, we in the distribution one, we have around 12,000 samples of death and around 1,87,000 of survived. Because of this, the first model was biasing toward the majority class and showing accuracy, a higher accuracy. But when we will see precision, recall, and F1 score, then it will give a clear picture. So, yes. And I have also tried to achieve the good results in distribution 2 and distribution 3. They are much more balanced in terms of bias.
All right. Okay. Makes sense.
Okay. Any questions from the audience? No. Okay. Because you have COVID-19 mortality predictions. Okay. I just wanted to know. You conclude three. You studied compare three sets basically.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you taken some geometric or arithmetic mean of the results, or is there any change if you take the average?
Yeah, I have taken macro average for precision, recall, and F1 score.
Okay.
Yeah.
ठीक है. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Very nice. Good presentation.
Our next paper title is Detection of Chronic Kidney Disease Using Machine Learning Algorithms. Our authors are Siddhartha Shaw, Vikram Das, Khushi Shaw, Srijini Santra, Shruti Singh, Soumya Paul, Timur Kumar Yadav. Sir, are you there?
Good afternoon, all.
Siddhartha Shaw.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
You are audible, you can start with the presentation. Your screen is also visible.
Good afternoon, all. My topic is detection of chronic kidney disease using machine learning algorithm. My paper ID is 65. What paper ID? The introduction. Chronic kidney disease is a gradual disease which occurs when the kidney loses the ability to filter any waste from the blood. It can lead to several health issues. The traditional method are relying on lab tests, but machine learning can change the future. It can predict CKD way faster than any other lab test. Our objective is to build a ML model for early detection of chronic kidney disease using UCI CKD dataset and finding the best possible performing algorithm. Our literature surveys detects that this B. Bones K ETL schemes has concluded that it has uses C.4 C4.5 algorithm, which is a decision tree algorithm, and it has predicted its accuracy was 63%, which was very poor. Other has also included perform their model using SDM, random forest, and other Abhishek ETL schemes. It has used a compared back propagation algorithm, radius splice function, and support vector machine for kidney stone diagnosis. MA Islam has used 12 model for predicting and comparing the CKD detection and treatment. Our scope of the work is to find the best predicting model. We have used 12 different machine learning classifier, including AdaBoost, XBBoost, and other like SVM, KNN. We have used our workflows contains the data source, data pre-processing, exploratory data analysis, feature engineering, splitting the data, model selection, model training, model evaluation, hyperparameter tuning, model validation. Our experimental data is hosted on UCI machine learning repository, which contains 24 features biased one target, and it can be divided into two classes, yes and no. There are 25 attributes in the dataset, 11 are numerical and 14 are nominal. You can see the dataset description in the table number 1. We have used all the matrices and research hypotheses. We have used accuracy, sensitivity, specific precision, and F measures. All are present. Now, as you can see, this is the comparison between our model and previous all models. As you can see, our AdaBoost has, as you all can see, our AdaBoost has performed 99.1% accuracy, which was beaten 0.990 by Pankaj Chitrora, and M. Islam has conducted all the model evaluation and accuracy is presented here. Our performance was quite better. All the components of the models are present like KNN, decision tree classification, and others. And interpretation is also present. We have shown a graph by which we can see that XBBoost and AdaBoost has performed very well and KNN has not performed too well. The model scores are presented here. I am going to conclude my statement by that saying that AdaBoost, extract tree classifier, CatBoost, and XBBoost can score close to 1 because of their reliability of thinking, reliability of changing the error into new data. K nearest neighbors has exhibited very low performance. Other models have also performed a very good result. In comparison to the previous studies on CKD prediction, our our data set has our model study achieved 98.3 accuracy with XBoost and 99.1 accuracy with AdaBoost algorithm, setting a new benchmark for security prediction accuracy without using any PCR. This is all my references used. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The forum is now open for question and answers.
Dr. Goel, please.
Dr.
Yeah,
Goel,
so one question. This is more specific to the medical data set, right? So while you're training the data, while you are fetching it from the various sources, right? How did you ensure that data security practices are in place? I mean, there is no breach, and you follow some of the compliance regulations that we have, right? So did you ensure any of that as part of this process, or this is just that the data you had was like publicly available?
The data was publicly available on UCI machine learning repository, which was also used by the previous authors. So I have also used the same for better comparison.
All right, but let's say if you have to implement same on the actual medical practice, right? So what would be your process? Do you so that would also require this continuous training, because this model will fall behind, right? As you have more data set, you have more training information from the existing patient, right? So that's going to change. So if you have to deploy the same on existing medical practice, how would you ensure that the security practices are in place for this?
For security practices, we can, I don't know what to use. I have just used all the models to just to compare which one is performing the good for the present data set. They have also used AdaBoost, but their tuning was not so great.
All right. So you just focus more on how would you get more accuracy
More
given the same
accuracy. Yes, sir.
with similar training that has been done in the past, but your focus was more into optimize this training process and then make it more accurate, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, makes sense.
Any question, Dr. Garima? What's the name? Siddharth.
Yes, sir.
This is Dr. Gajendra. I just wanted to know any statistical method or technique. Can you how many techniques you have used in your result analysis?
In my result analysis, I have used all the matrices like precision, recall, and others, which I have already shared.
Any distribution you have used to given the training to the machine?
For the missing value, I have used the missing value rectifier for using mean and median to the missing values, and I have also converted the nominal value to numerical value.
Numerical value, no, okay. You have used two method, mean and median, right?
Yes, sir.
Which mean you have used?
Arithmetic mean.
Why not arithmetic, harmonic mean or geometric mean?
Sir, in the previous, in all the previous, they have not used any mean or anything. That's why their data set was not so accurate. So they have not achieved great result. But I have used this and I have got some good result.
Okay, can we use geometric mean in your case?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
Can we use geometric mean?
Sir, I have taken the all the attributes and I have summation and then divided by all the 400.
Siddharth, my question, can we use geometric mean in your study?
Yes, sir, we can use geometric mean.
Okay, suppose some values are zero because you are discussing missing value concept. So how it will be possible whenever some values are zero to take the geometric mean?
Sir, for every zero value, I have already assigned it to null.
But geometry is not will not work. Okay, okay. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, thank you, Siddharth. It was nice presentation.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you to all for letting me present. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Our next paper title is Digital Forensics and Social Transformation, a Critical Analysis. The authors are Sonal Rao and Akida Khan.
Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is digital forensics. Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is digital forensics and social transformation, a critical analysis. My name is Sonal Rao, and I would like to start my presentation with focusing upon the aim of my study. So, it is finding and analyzing the current issues in digital forensics leading to social transformation. And the rapid technological advancement has pushed the entire globe to migrate towards the digital realm. But this change also led to an increase in cyber crimes and security breach events, endangering privacy and security for the users. As a result, this paper focused on analyzing the application of digital forensics as a significant advancement in combating crimes. The latest developments in digital forensics, such as cloud forensics, social media forensics, and IoT forensics, have been examined in this paper. These technologies are assisting cybersecurity experts in identifying the culprits and protecting the data by utilizing the digital footprints left by the data processing and storage. These are the areas that I have mentioned in my paper that where digital forensic has actually led to the digital transformation. These are law enforcement in courts, critical infrastructure protection, and military operations. Since I am from a law background, so the main concern of my paper is with respect to the law enforcement in the courts. Here, I have presented this data from one of the NCRB report related to the rape incidents, starting from 2015 onwards to 2021. So, as we can see from this table, that the cases where investigation has started, or we can say the charge sheets have been filed, is suppose X percentage, and the final conviction is 1 by 3% only. So, the main concern of this paper is that I have actually studied the gap that has not resulted in the conviction rate. Secondly, the police public ratio per lakh population as per United Nations, the recommendation is 222 police per lakh persons. And the ratio for the whole country as on January 2022 of police personnel per lakh person was 152.8 as per the actual strength. But the sanction strength is 196.23. So the research gap is digital forensic plays an important role in various sectors, but it comes along with various challenges. The social transformation in the field of law is use of digital forensics to take the case up to the conviction stage. As there is a huge difference in the cases for which charge sheets have been filed and the cases which have actually reached the stage of conviction. And also the police public ratio, as I have already mentioned. Technology in such a scenario becomes very important because there are loopholes in the investigation process. Now, digital forensics is basically the process of gathering, examining, and conserving digital evidences from the electronic devices in order to investigate and prevent the crimes. So, here the figure mentions the process that how the evidences are being collected. These are the phases of digital forensic investigation. I'll now move on to few cases wherein digital forensics has played a crucial role. One of the famous cases is Arushi Talwar murder case, wherein mobile forensics was used, and the emails and call data records of the family members were being examined. Secondly, there's a Satyam scam case, wherein the forensic imaging of the service was being used. The third is the Sheena Bora murder case, wherein GPS monitoring and social media forensics was being used. So these are the few cases that I've mentioned in my PPT. Moving on to the various branches of digital forensics, these are computer forensics, social media forensics, network forensic, mobile device forensics, and IoT forensics. I would now like to move on to the challenges and the implications which comes in the way. I have categorized into three parts: source related issues and challenges, second, law related issues and challenges, and third, scientific related issues and challenges. Talking about the source related, so basically the amount of data that we collect is so much in amount that it becomes very difficult to concentrate on just the important part. Secondly, collection and visualization. So the data stored in cloud environments or virtual machine is not physically located on any one device, which creates challenges in identifying the source, location, and authenticity of the data. Secondly, we have scientific related issues such as anti-forensic techniques. So criminals, they employ the anti-forensic tactics to impede the forensic investigators by making it more difficult to find or retrieve the evidences. Lack of hardware equipments. So in order to properly gather and examine the digital evidence, digital forensic frequently needs specialized hardware tools, and which they are very cost effective. So basically, it becomes very difficult. The third is law related. So we have privacy issues. That is the first concern. Investigators, they frequently need access to the private and sensitive data during forensic investigations, including the browsing histories, and therefore the privacy of an individual is being challenged. Secondly, presentation of the digital evidences in the court. So here, to maintain the chain of custody and the evidences that they need to be admissible in the court, we need to make sure that the evidences which have been collected, they are properly handled and have been preserved. Evidence validation is the third concern. Thank you.
Dr. Goel, please.
Uh, so, I mean, what is the implication of this? I mean, are you suggesting to use more of the forensic and this evidence base for more of this case proceedings, or is just the analysis you're done based on the data that's been captured so far?
Sir, this is an analysis, but what I suggest through this paper is that we need more strategic investigations, and we need to use the technological advancements using digital forensics in our investigation process so that the conviction rates can be increased, and it is not just the charge sheets rate which is high, it should actually reach the stage of conviction. So I have analyzed through this paper the challenges, but I suggest that the technological advancements needs to be used in the court proceedings as well.
All right, but how about this? You already pointed out, right? There's a lot of challenges in terms of the cultural bias. There's some issues with the legalities. So how would you gonna address all of these?
Sir, with respect to the law-related issues, the first one is with respect to the privacy. So basically, we need to focus more upon the legislative part, because right now we just have Digital Data Protection Act, which recently came in 2023, and so more such legislations I would recommend are needed for this purpose. Secondly, there is a evidence collection issue, which is basically protecting the chain of custody. So we need to make sure that our police authorities and the individuals involved in the investigation process, they are more they should be more knowledge. They should have more knowledge about digital forensics. And third was related to the preservation of the evidences. So we need to make sure that we train the authorities so well that we do not face these challenges in future.
All right. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
My question is, just go to your slides, please. Back. Yes, now. So you talked about the rape incidences here, and you have taken data from 2015 to 21. And within 3-4 years, we have seen a massive change in the rate, and it is going down. And other type of crimes are increasing. So, and when we talk about the challenges, so what is the correlation you want to create between, because you have showcased it, Okay, so how it is related to your forensic audit, cyber securities and all that? Because nowadays digital frauds are more happening as compared to these type of things. So the biggest challenge I've identified in your work, ki there is a correlation between the topic which you want to, like sir has are really very good, ki what the thing you want to cover up, that is the challenges. So how it is related to?
Ma'am, first of all, the data which I have collected is from 2015 to 2021. This is a part of my thesis work, and I'm yet to collect more data. But yes, I haven't mentioned that particular data starting from 2022 to 2024, which is the latest NCRB report. So that I have not included because this is just an example that I had to portray in this presentation. This is a part of my thesis work which I am working on right now. So this data I presented just to explain that how the conviction rates and the charge sheet rates, they have a huge gap between them. So this was just related to the rape incident. I have also worked on juvenile offenses also, the offenses against juveniles and more such offenses, but I haven't mentioned them in my PPT.
Ma'am, you are able to identify the challenges, that's fine. But what are your recommendations? How the technology can be used to improve our current judiciary system? There are limitations, there are challenges. We all are aware about that. But what would be your recommendations?
Sir, my recommendation would be more the development of more forensic digital forensic labs because and the training of more the police authorities with the digital equipments, because I think there is the only lag we are lagging behind.
Thank you.
That was an awesome presentation. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we will begin with the next paper title, that is Machine Learning Predictive Analysis of Fluid Flow Characteristic on Lid-Driven Cavity Flow. The authors are Rupankar Das, Satyaki, Yashaswini Gawala, K.D. Pramod, Yuki Manta, Arindha Perumal.
Screen share कर दिया.
Good afternoon, sir. Can I start, sir?
Yes, you can start.
Yes, sir. I am Dr. D. Armu Perumal, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, NIT Karnataka, Surathkal. This is the work done by my BTech students, Rupankar Das, Satya, Yasaswini, and Pramod, and Mamata. And today, everyone want to learn and everyone want to study same way machine learning or artificial intelligence. That is why we want to couple or bridge the relation between fluid dynamics and machine learning predictive algorithms. Today, our topic is machine learning predictive analysis of fluid flow characteristics on lid-driven cavity flow. The lid-driven cavity flow is one of the benchmark problem in our fluid mechanics. That is why we try to study same way our lid-driven cavity flow using finite volume method based ANSYS fluent simulation software. Next, we try to explore the data. Then we try to model using machine learning algorithms. The lid-driven cavity flow is really attractive for many applications, including rolling bar in manufacturing, electronic system, cooling. Initially, what we try to do, we try to study flow patterns within the lid-driven cavity flow through ANSYS simulation. Then after that, we try to extract the data. Then we try to analyze using machine learning techniques, so that we can try to understand or try to bridge the relation between our fluid mechanics and same way machine learning algorithm. This is the benchmark problem of lid-driven cavity flow. Here you can see the top wall is moving at particular direction from left to right with a constant velocity u. The other three walls are stationary. Due to wall movement, the momentum is diffused inside the cavity. That is why it used to create primary vertex at the center. There are secondary vertices it used to create at the corner of the walls. Initially, we used finite volume method based ANSYS simulation. Then we try to generate mesh on the cavity flow domain. You can see this is our same way square domain. We generated mesh in same way pre-processing step in ANSYS Fluent software. Even we try to go for coarse mesh, fine mesh, then ultra fine mesh to get exact result from our finite volume method software. Next, we try to bridge our fluid mechanics data or same ANSYS simulation data with artificial neural networks. Even this work done by our BTech students, even we know that artificial neural network also it is really good technique, and the same way people are using. Even they go for different algorithm. Even here we try to use really back propagation algorithm, and we try to predict the data and to go for same way result. Here you can see from our ANSYS software, we try to predict the convergence of our numerical solution. You can see as the iteration increases, the solution also try to move towards convergent. As the particular iteration gone, then we understand that present iteration previous results are almost matching. Then we stopped the program, and the same way we try to predict the fluid flow characteristics using ANSYS based simulation. Here you can see we went for different Reynolds number. Even we try to study laminar flow. Initially, we plotted with low Reynolds number 100. Then as the Reynolds number increases, we can see the primary vertex center, it is moving towards from the cavity walls to the center of the domain. Same way, we can understand as the Reynolds number increases, then the secondary vertices also, it appears at the bottom corners. Then the strength of the vertices also really increases as the Reynolds number increases. Then it really move the primary vertex center at the same way center of the computational domain. Once we predict our same way results from the finite volume method based ANSYS flow simulation, then we try to same way couple with same way machine learning algorithm. That is why first we went for exploratory data analysis. Even we went for different data. There are many fluid flow characteristics we try to predict. Here we went for important data like velocity, pressure, density, and initially we plotted same way data analysis for different fluid flow characteristics. Next, we try to plot mainly some important characteristics like velocity, pressure, and the same way pressure with the same way density. And here you can see the scatter plot velocity inside the computational domain. Even you see it used to flow from same way wall to the same way momentum, it diffused inside the cavity. Even you see the pressure also, even it try to move inside the computational domain. Even same way, if you plot with the same way pressure and velocity, it tends to move inside the computational domain. Not only that one, we try to take density as an important property. Then we try to plot same way pressure with the same way velocity, and the same way we even try to plot with density as well. Even you can see this fluid flow characteristics also, even the fluid will try to move inside the same way computational domain. Next, we know that all flows are three-dimensional. That is why we try to go for three-dimensional surface plots for different fluid flow characteristics. Even you can see pressure versus velocity, same way pressure versus same way density, same way pressure versus same way different characteristics. Even we compared our U and V velocity as well for different Reynolds number. Even the diagram is clearly tells the fluid, it tries to move, and the same way it tries to give different flow behavior with respect to Reynolds number. Even we
Requesting the MCs to please proceed with the next presentation.
So our next paper title is Predicting AI-Powered Strategies for Addressing Security and Privacy Concerns on E-commerce Platforms Using Machine Learning. The, the authors are Shalini Ramaswamy and Rajesh Shankar Narayan.
Good afternoon, professors. Hope my slides are visible. Can I start my presentation?
Yes, ma'am, you can start with the presentation and you are allotted 5 minutes. Try to conclude your presentation within 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine, sir. I'll try to finish it in 5 minutes. So this study is actually the focus is on addressing the security and privacy concerns on the e-commerce platform users. And we have been seeing day in and day out, there are so many, cyber security threats and the frauds, the phishing and the data breaches that has been happening. So it is very well aware of the fact. The fact is very clear that a lot of studies have already happened, but in spite of that, the instances are still happening. So I wanted to study again and try to understand what actually is leading or what are the cause for the cyber threats and the phishing or the fraud that is happening around us. So for this purpose, what I have done is I have used both the secondary and the primary data to do the analysis. So the main objective of my study is to identify the fraudulent transactions and detect the anomalies in the e-commerce transactions using the AI-powered models. And the other objectives include to assess the awareness and impact of the cybersecurity, education on user behavior, and also to understand the user authentication and the security enhancement analysis. What the users think about the authentication and the security enhancement. And also, I wanted to check the role of AI in securing online payments and reducing the financial frauds. So for this purpose, this is the literature review. I would like to skip because of the paucity of time. I have collected the data from both the primary and the secondary sources. Primary, I have distributed around, through Google Form, I sent around 520. Much more than that. But I was able to collect only 480, and then after doing around 500, and after doing the data cleaning and such things, I could use only 480 responses for this particular study. And the secondary data was also collected to analyze the fraudulent transactions, phishing incidents, and the authentication failures. So for this, the secondary data I have collected from 3 particular data set is what I have taken. It is like, this is what I could get from the Kaggle, the IEEE CIS, this thing, and the other one, that is a credit card fraud data set. So the data was only up to 2018 in case of IEEE fraud detection data set, where I took 2 months consecutive data transactions which have happened, and out of which 3.5% were labeled as fraudulent. Similarly, in case of phishing website, I could get only up to 2015, and it consisted of around 11,055 transactions.
We are bounded with the time, requesting you to please continue.
Okay, fine. And fine, with respect to the descriptive statistics, if you can see, when I wanted to check the awareness level and the frequency of OTP authentication and the number of phishing emails that I received, you can just check that, I have prepared a donut chart to understand. And we can make out that the majority of the respondents are rating their trust at moderate to high level with respect to the e-commerce transactions. And at the same time, a smaller proportion of the users are exhibiting very low confidence, indicating that, they are concerned about the fraud and the privacy, data privacy issues. Now, even, with respect to the secondary data, I wanted to check the model performance for the fraud detection, for which I use the confusion matrix model. And in this, we can see that, it shows that the model's accuracy in detecting fraud with high diagonal values indicating correct classifications. So the false positive represent here the legitimate transaction misclassified as fraud, and then false negatives indicate missed fraud cases. So a low false negative rate is crucial definitely for the study, and this can be highlighted in the confusion matrix. And then I wanted to do test the hypothesis, for which I use the chi-square test to check whether there is any relationship between the authentication method and the fraud occurrence. And I got the p-value as less than 1, which shows that the authentication method significantly impact the fraud occurrences. Okay, the OTP and the biometric authentication definitely reduces the fraud risk. And the next one is with respect to the privacy preserving AI techniques, for which I use the centralized and the decentralized, that is federated learning. And in this, we can see that federated learning is compared to the centralized one. It is federated learning shows strong accuracy of 89.8%. Sorry. Well, we look at the improving privacy. When we look at it, the federated learning is better than the centralized one, which is highlighted in yellow color that you can see. So when we look at the findings.
So it was a wonderful session. Thank you for that. I would thank the audience for their time and participation. Now, Dr. Kumar will facilitate Dr. Gajendra Pratap Singh and Dr. Garima Agarwal. Thank you.
We can stand there. We can stand there. Yeah, you can stand at your seat. Also, we can stand up. आप लोग भी आ जाओ बेटा। आओ ना बेटा, you are the ones who are working hard for it. All of you, please say cheese. Cheese. Thank you, बच्चा।
Good afternoon, everyone. So, we are starting with our session 2 for the day 2. The session name is Mathematical Modeling or Reliability Statistics, and our chair persons are Rashi Hora. Dr. Rashi Hora is an assistant professor at GLBIMR. She specializes in statistics and operation management. Her research areas include inferential statistics and lifetime model. She has technical expertise in RS Studios and SPSS. Dr. Hora has published papers in SCI and Scopus Index journals. The second chairperson is Shivani Tiwari. Dr. Shivani Tiwari is an assistant professor at GITAM University. She holds a PhD in statistics with expertise in sample survey and time analysis. Her research focus on collaboration estimators and stratified sampling. Dr. Tiwari has publications in prestigious international journals. So let's begin with our first paper. The paper title is An Optimal Replenishment Policy for Deteriorating Items with Linear Demand and Wibble Deterioration, a study for the food industry, and the author is Jitendra Kaushik.
Good afternoon to all of you. Good morning or good afternoon, session chairs, both of the session chairs. Today's topic that I'm presenting that the optimal replenishment policy for the deteriorating item when the demand function is a linear demand function, decreasing linear demand function, I consider there for the deteriorating item. First of all, I introduce that the deteriorating item that's due to the time spent, their quality of the product that less has diminished their value. It's a decay in the quality of the product. As the food and vegetables, they deteriorate over the time. So the variable deterioration, I use that because whenever their growth rate of deterioration, the fasting deteriorating item that consider the variable deterioration as the item entered into our inventory and they start deteriorate immediately. So variable deterioration play a very significant role in this area. So that's why I consider that. Secondly, I consider the linear demand because it's a more realistic in a real world where the demand is a constant and decreasing as per the time. So I consider price and time dependent inventory model for deteriorating items, which the demands of the products that deteriorate start immediately. So variable distribution I consider. Change कहते हैं वो? Oh. Yes, this is my abstract, which I already explained that is a complex problem for the inventory industry, especially for the food industry, because the food item is very specific and our population will grow in 2050 approximately 2 billion more. So it's quite difficult task to manage the food availability to them. But the problem is that the food availability we can provide them, but the problem is that the food have this specific life. So how we can enhance, can we enhance their the specific life, shelf life? So sustainability development also, it can impact the cost also. So management point of view, I'm discussing here a linear demand function and how to extend their shelf life with the use of this mathematical model. So mathematical model is a time dependent, sometimes because the things dependent on the time and sometimes dependent on the price. So I discuss these two things here, dependent on the time and price. And then further I discussing the different cases, the risk scenario, how to cover the risk scenario. Suppose that demand change, sometimes dependent on the time, sometimes dependent on the coefficient, and sometimes dependent on the price. So that's why I develop a mathematical model for the food industries. Now I'm starting that. In here, I develop some concativity condition, mathematical model develop, and their concativity condition I define and plot different graphs with their respect of the price and time with respect to a deterioration. So Hessian matrix analysis and others optimization techniques discussed with a graphical method to optimize our problem, to enhance the per unit additional profit to retailers and industry, especially for the food industry. The basic challenge of them is that how to enhance the shelf life to enhance their profit, because if the product shelf life is very specific, after a certain level product cannot be consumed. So how can we enhance, and what is our optimal time when we have to replenish, what is the optimal selling price? This can be the challenge. So this challenge can be solved by this. This is the notations. This T is the total length, inventory length. A is a fixed demand. B is the coefficient of demand. This is a variable deterioration. R is the revenue earned per unit, cost, holding cost, normal cost, and given the discount to the special discount, those are waiting during the shortest time period. Then this all are the assumptions. There's a time dependent model, discount given to the loyal customers, variable deterioration we considered. Selling price is always greater than purchase price and the inventory cost is not the price floor. And no items we getting back, no defective items we replacing, and finite replenishment horizon means time period is limited, specific. Then this is the demand function A minus BT plus GST because two variable deterioration I consider dependent on the two factors G, H and T, time and something two factors all there G and H. G and H dependent on T, so this I am just describing there. And these all are the equations to find the revenue function, holding cost of the function, and initial inventory level and backlog inventory. Initial inventory is a condition where the initial inventory required that every time at the deterioration start, at what deterioration time, how much inventory should be available. And backlog orders that when the demand is over and shortages start during that time period, backlog order is there. So the problem is there when the backlog is there, how much inventory to be sustained, how much the profit will get, and what is the deterioration level there, where we get a maximum profit. And the maximum profit can convert to the industry and industry entrepreneur get an additional profit with use of this paper. So this is the condition, optimal condition. I solve that and find that this is the optimal condition where the retailer get per unit additional profit. And this is the Hessian matrix analysis condition where this condition is less than 0. So I find that it's a less than 0. So per unit additional profit we getting here. So apart from that, numerical examples, we solve that. So here the numerical example with this, all values already secondary data and few variables, we consider that as a randomly. So here the T1 point is 50 and we consider that and solve that and we find that 12.254 and something is increasing with respect to the deterioration rate. So this is the condition. So demand function condition, second conditions there. And this is when inventory replenishment point not there, we getting just loss. And now the demand function get changed. Particular cases we consider A minus T, GST, loss, and this condition loss, and the functions change dependent on A minus BT, then function dependent on the price only. And the interesting thing that I derive the two additional models to find this a solution when two optimal additional point I find to different points. So I put the different point and I solve that. But this is not an appropriate solution. Optimal solution, that is the case one only. Because here, because the time limit is more and price are more, in this situation, we are not getting the profit for a long time. And the product gets worst during our inventory holding cost. Okay. Then this is the graph, show the concavity. And this is a simple comparison. We're getting additional profit. And I compare with a lot of the researchers. And this is sensitivity analysis and sensitivity analysis research, their results to overcome the risk scenario in the future. And this is conclusion that the per unit additional profit can be get from that. And secondly, inventory manager can cover the risk to whenever the variability or fluctuation find in time, coefficient of demand, certain demand increase, change in the price. So this is a very good for the food and industry problem and it solve the food and industry problem when the demand is linear. Thank you. Any question?
Okay, it was a nice presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, can you show me the third slide?
This one? This one?
No. Previous one. Okay, the next one. Okay, so there's a 7 point, no return of defective items. Is it possible in a real life situation?
Yes, possible. It's possible. Because when it's possible that because if we're returning the food item, this is deteriorate over a time period, certain level. When the T cross, if the items get already deteriorate, we cannot return it because it's not used for the final consumption.
So you take a food industry example. So I think in food industry, the defective items are very normal.
That not for the fruit and vegetables. That defective items can be written, which is a perishable items, and I consider the deteriorating items.
Okay.
Some items that can be written, this can be reutilized. It can be possible that reutilize, but fruit and vegetable things cannot be covered. So for the food industry and second the beverage food, these food those have a specific shelf life. So those have a specific shelf life. After that, it cannot be consumed for the final consumption. So we cannot use that. So that's why items not returning.
Okay.
And the defective item returning case can be applied in somewhere else, not here. In the manufacturing industry, we can apply this method.
Okay, so you worked on the secondary data, not
Yes.
in the primary data.
Yes, in our mathematical model or data secondary data, we considered that to shows just a mathematical model and deploy all mathematical model on that certain values only.
Okay, so where did you get it from the secondary
That's
data?
the different journals we get that, and that
Okay,
is a
okay.
detail already available in a research paper. Their source of citation we mentioned.
Okay, thank you from my side.
Any other question?
There is
Thank you.
Dr. Shivani is actually on the meet if she want to ask anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, no, thank you, sir. It was insightful presentation. From my side, no questions are there.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
That was a wonderful presentation, sir. So now let's move on to our next paper title, Pre-Equivalent Supply Chain Management with Imperfect Quality and Carbon Emission. And the authors are Pratibha Rajawat, Mandeep Mittal, Biswajit Sarkar, Anil Dhanda.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm. We request you, Pratibha ma'am, to please on your camera.
Wait, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you are visible.
Good afternoon to everyone. Myself Pratibha Rajawat. My research topic 3 equivalent supply chain management with imperfect quality and carbon emission constant. These are the outlines for the presentation: introduction, literature review, research gap, proposed result, conclusion,
Screen is not.
references.
Please share your screen.
सर स्क्रीन तो मैंने शेयर किया हुआ है.
Once again, please, ma'am. Once again, do that.
Screen is visible.
No, ma'am. Please share it again. Yeah. Now, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, sir. Myself Pratibha Rajawat. My research topic is 3 equivalent supply chain management with imperfect quality and carbon emission constant. These are the outlines for the presentation: introduction, literature review, research gap, proposed model, result, conclusion, and future work, and references. First, we discuss the supply chain management. Supply chain management in the defective item. Product made by manufacturer and go to retailer and the end customer. Item inspection process of 2 times. First be defective and second be non-defective. Non-defective item is scrap cost. These are the literature review. Author proposed in 1986 early work on the defective inventory does not integrated modern teach and improvements. V et al. In 2000, EQ model considering exponential decay, limited word of the world validation. Ryu et al. In 2003, infinite causes of the product deterioration, lack of the integrated production and models. Zhu et al. In 2004, 2 equivalent order quantity optimization, no real-time optimization tool. Similar, these are the literature review Mittal and Jaggi in 2007, time value of the money in the decayable good inventory.
The Javer in 2000 studies effective reduction, lead time, other and reorder points, need of the AI waste optimization. Wah et al. In 2011 variable emission based on the cargo size, no multi-modal logistic comparison. We et al. In 2011 cap and trade in supply chain inventory, limited consideration of the supply chain cooperation. Similarly, Javer et al. In 2000 and Sarkar et al. In 2013 algebraic method for the cost reduction in the inventory does not incorporate dynamic inventory model. We et al. In 2016 distribution reviews supply chain design under carbon policies. Limited focus on real world improvement mentioned. Sarkar et al. In 2000, Sarkar et al. In 2016 cost reduction in the multi-shipment models, no empirical supply chain testing. Tiwari et al. In 2018 carbon tax policies in supply chain management. We et al. In 2018 role in of the 3PL provider in the emission control. Similarly, in this literature review, we et al. In 2023 carbon tax and the carbon trade in the imperfect on the pricing production need for the sector efficiency strategies. These are the research gap summary. Limited consideration of the supply chain system in the inventory, lack of the real time application data for inventory model with carbon constant, no empirical chain study in the cost reduction for the multi shipment models, need for the policy impact assessment in carbon tax policies in the supply chain, lack of the blockchain waste transparency in the role of 3PL provider in the emission control. Now we discuss of the 3PL supply chain management. Supply chain management is the third part logistics system warehousing and the transportation for the manufacturing and the consumer. As you can see the graph, now we discuss of the product made by manufacturer and go to product made by manufactured and the defective item is q minus q1 and the scrap first be u q not one the non-defective item in the single delivery system and next go to 3pl multiple equation shipment constant time interval and go to buyer as this process is the supply 3pl service. On the basis of the above literature review for the optimization supply chain strategies for the deterioration item and the imperfect manufacturing under carbon emission regulation. Jan Mittal et al. In 2023, author proposed carbon emission in supply chain activities, third part logistics system, single setup, multiple delivery system. These are the three parts of the three parts uses of the carbon tax, carbon offset, cap and trend. The focus on the deteriorating product and imperfect manufacturing.
Wind up faster.
Okay, under carbon emission regulation. These are the assumptions for the proposed model. Deterioration product of the time dependent balance cost effectiveness and the sustainability carbon tax fix carbon offset carbon and trade buyer received shipment and the multiple delivers balance cost efficiency and the sustainability. These are the important notations Q1, Q0, Q1. Q1 is the initial inventory level, Q1 is the intermediate inventory level and Q0 is the initial inventory level, Q2 is the final inventory level. D is the demand rate, theta is a deteriorating, TC total cost including carbon, TX carbon tax rate, CE the carbon emission, the supply chain operations. Now we discuss the carbon emission cost models. As you can see the graph, and the first we graph the discuss carbon tax, and second we graph the discuss of the carbon offset, and the third we graph of the carbon trade and in use this formulas TCN equal TC into TX as the similar TC equal TCN plus TX TC minus C. These are the results of the comprehension of the carbon emission regulation strategies. N is the interval 1 to 3 TV, T, Q0, Q1, Q2, 3, CE, TC. As the carbon emission CE remain enhanced across of the scenarios 14.8 something, total cost CE is stable. This no financial efficiency of the emission carbon reduction. Similarly, result comparison of the carbon emission regulation studies with carbon offset. As this table, carbon emission are the completely eliminated C equals 0 and the result comparison of the carbon regulation strategies for the carbon offset. Now we discuss the conclusion. Emission control studies impact both cost and the inventory management, future efficiency, optimal strategies, partial offset provided the cost-effective balance between emission reduction and the financial. These are the references. Okay, thank you.
Now the forum is open for a question and answers.
Thank you, Pratibha. I want to ask one question. How does your model balance cost efficiency with carbon emission constraint while ensuring product quality across the supply chain?
Ma'am, again repeat the question.
Just want to know that how your model balance cost efficiency with your carbon emissions, whatever constraint you have taken. Okay, and when you ensure you are ensuring that product quality across the supply chain. So how your model is balancing this cost efficiency and this carbon emission constants?
Less than, ma'am.
Okay, there is no question from my side.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So now the next paper title is Leveraging ESG Rating and Advanced Analytics for Portfolio Optimization. And the authors are Veena Jain, Rishi Rajan, and Nupur. उससे check कर लेते हैं.
Ma'am, please stop your screen sharing. Pratibha ma'am, please can you stop your screen sharing? Thank you, ma'am. So the next paper title is Leveraging ESG Ratings and Advanced Analytics for Portfolio Optimization, and the authors are Veena Jain, Rishi Rajan Sir, Nupur. Okay, let's skip this. The next paper title is Correlation Analysis between Economics and Productivity. The authors are Devinder Nankar, Shibhar Sekar. Devinder sir, you are not audible, please. Devinder sir, can you please rejoin it? Because you are not even audible to us. Okay, so let's skip this. The next paper title is Influence of Financial Risk Analysis, Human Errors, Environment and Climate Change on Quantitative Rounds Based on Asset Management. And the author is Somnath Pal.
Hello. 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 Not so.
Somnath sir, you are not audible.
Hello.
Don't say you are not audible.
Hello. Hello.
Yep. Okay, okay. You are
Am I
audible.
audible now?
Yes, yes, yes. Please share your screen. Sir.
Yeah, okay.
Somnath Pal, shall I share?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
No, it is showing someone else is sharing.
Yeah, I'm already sharing my.
Okay, then I'll wait. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please, sir, go ahead.
Start. We are running out of time.
Correlation analysis, will it be starting?
Yeah, hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Hello. I'm visible.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So my name is Devendra Mainkar, and I'm doing my masters from Goa College of Engineering. And my paper title is Correlation Analysis Between Ergonomics and Productivity. Abstract. The main objective of this project is to investigate the correlation between ergonomics and productivity at Gola Closures India Private Limited, wherein there are quantitative and qualitative analysis which study focuses on measuring productivity metrics in relation to ergonomics adjustment in workstations such as furniture, lighting, and work-related posture. So, 50 samples were taken to study the industrial ergonomics. Introduction. Ergonomics is a study of how individuals interact with different elements of a system to improve efficiency and well-being. Ergonomics is a study of how individuals interact with different elements of a system to improve efficiency and well-being. Ergonomics integrate knowledge from multiple fields such as engineering, physiology, psychology to enhance workplace safety and efficiency. Definition. Ergonomics refers to the science of designing work environment that accommodate human anatomy, physiology, and mechanical principles to maximize efficiency while minimizing strain. It defines ergonomics as study of human interaction within a system and the application of scientific principles to optimize well-being and performance. Benefits of ergonomics are enhanced workplace safety, increased reliability, user-friendly design, optimized work efficiency, greater comfort, reduction in errors, improved workplace aesthetic, higher job satisfaction, reduced absenteeism, and competitive advantages. Productivity. This term was first introduced by Francois Quenisne in 1766. The Organization for European Economics Cooperation provided a formal definition. According to Suman 1984, productivity refers to effective and efficient utilization of resources to generate goods and services. Ergonomic factors affecting productivity. Ergonomics plays a crucial role in enhancing overall productivity by improving various aspects of a workplace environment. Key ergonomics factors that impact productivity, such as workplace design, work environment, workers' productivity, job design, and employees' performance. So, workplace design, in workplace design, a well-structured workplace should be tailored to match employees' physical capabilities, preferences, ergonomics needs to enhance efficiency, reduce discomfort. Poor workplace design often result in awkward posture, prolonged strain, muscular discomfort, leading to common issues such as fatigue, eye strain, and back pain. The impact of work environment. The physical work environment plays a crucial role in shaping employees' perception of themselves, their colleagues, and the organization as a whole. Research suggests that ergonomic workplace modifications such as use of stand-up desks can enhance cognitive engagement, increase alertness, and foster better team collaboration compared to the traditional seated workstation. Employee productivity. Enhancing worker productivity is a critical objective for business as it directly compatibility, overall company success. Workforce productivity plays a key role in business performance. Job design. Job design involves structuring roles, responsibilities, tasks in a way that aligns with organizational goals while ensuring clarity, balance, and efficiency in task management. To optimize work efficiency, organization implement a job enrichment strategies, including job rotation, job enrollment, and job enrichment, all of which help enhance skill development, job satisfaction, and workplace adaptability. Ergonomics and its impact on productivity. So these are applications of ergonomics, which is job design, workstation design, product design, environmental factors, ergonomics, equipments, and software design. Research method.
Short of time, can you read it faster?
Research methodology. Okay, sir. The primary aim of this study is to analyze relationship between ergonomics and productivity. So objectives are to access the correlation analysis between ergonomics and productivity and examine how ergonomics influence overall workplace efficiency and employee performance. So this is a research hypothesis wherein null hypothesis there is no significant relation between ergonomics productivity, whereas hypothesis is a significant relationship exists between work and environment and employee performance. Other one is between workplace design and layout and employee performance, and third one is ergonomics training, safety measures, and mental health programs significantly influence employee performance. And H4 is there is significant relationship between ergonomics and overall productivity. This is a operational framework wherein in ergonomics there are different factors, and in productivity employees performance is measured. Research design. So this is a descriptive research design which is used to analyze and interpret existing condition. Study area. So this research was conducted at Gola Closures, India, focusing on employee involved in workforce management, employee performance, and productivity. So population of study. A population research refers to definite group of individuals who share common characteristics related to a study. For this research, target population consisting of supervisors and technicians at Gola Closures, India, which plays crucial in overseeing workplace operation and productivity. Sample size. For this study, a sample of 50 respondents were chosen from the total 380 employees at Gola Closures, India. These participants were selected based on their role and expertise. These are the sample composition of study wherein there are different departments in which maintenance, production, and quality and tool room were there. So sample size of 50 was taken.
Sir, actually we are really running short of time. So please conclude it faster.
Okay, sir.
Give the conclusion.
So these are the presentation of gender of respondent wherein there are males and female. These are the age of respondent from 20 to 51 and above category. So years of respondent in which highest is between 6 to 10 years with 26%, and the lowest is 4% with 26 to 30 years of experience. So descriptive analysis was considered wherein the mean standard deviation and variance for various ergonomic factors were presented, which was followed by employee performance with a mean score of 3.68. Meanwhile, Ergonomics training, safety and mental health share mean score of 3.5. The lowest mean score was 3.32 was observed for workplace design and layout. So reliability test, which includes Cronbach alpha constant, which assesses the internal consistency of reliability of various factors. So according to reliability test, workplace design layout exhibits a reliability score of 0.657, where others were having 0.567, 0.631, 0.631. Okay. So inferential analysis, wherein Pearson correlation analysis is used to evaluate the strength and direction of relationship between two quantitative variables. So Pearson correlation coefficient was applied to examine the association between independent and dependent variable. So these are the Pearson correlation value.
Sir, kindly come to the conclusion part.
Yeah, please.
Correlation. These are the correlation chart between different factors. And then a multi-regression analysis was carried out wherein it suggested that 56% of variation in job performance can be explained by the independent variable, while the remaining 44 may be influenced by other factors.
We're requesting you to conclude, otherwise we need to close this.
Yes. So the conclusion is it is the hypothesis testing indicate the statistically significant positive correlation between ergonomics and productivity. The study further revealed that the strong interaction between ergonomics productivity suggests that employees perform more effectively when they have clear understanding of their task. Ergonomics plays a crucial role in facilitating employee tasks, making their work more manageable and improving overall organizational efficiency. So these are the recommendations. So whenever possible, modification should be incorporated into workplace design and layout to accommodate different categories of employees. Organizations should prioritize employee health, safety when positioning machinery, as this minimizes the risk of injuries and reduces error rates. Employers should foster supportive and well-structured working environment which provides necessary tools and equipment and ensure effective supervision. So these are the references which I have referred for my research paper.
So now the forum is open for question and answer.
Yes, please.
Okay, I want to ask one question.
Yeah.
How did you account for confounding variables in your analysis?
So actually, I have shared the Google form with the respondents, and I have collected data, and based on that, I have done my descriptive analysis.
No, how did you account this confounding variable? What will be the confounding variable in your study?
So ergonomics and productivity.
No, that is the you are studying, right?
Yeah.
That will be the independent and dependent variable. What will be your confounding variable in your study?
Correlation and Pearson correlation coefficient.
No. There will be some variable which is affecting to your both variables, right?
Yeah.
What will be that?
Working environment.
No. Please see, whenever you are doing the analysis for your paper, you have to account the confounding variables. Otherwise, your result will not come proper. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, so there's a last question from my side. Which sampling technique you are using?
Yeah.
Which sampling technique you are using for the analysis part?
Random sampling. Random sampling.
Simple random sampling?
Yeah.
Spreader sampling?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so our next paper title is Influence of Financial Risk Analysis, Human Errors, Environment and Climate Change on Quantitative Ramps-Based Asset Management. And the author are Somnath Pal.
Now, should I go to
Yes, sir.
slide mode? Now, first, let me tell that I have got 37 years experience in Indian Railways. from grassroots level of maintenance to finally faculty teaching RAMs based all these things. And then I was the founder chair of Reliability Society in India at Hyderabad #1. And for the last 2 years during my chairmanship, we became #1 in the world. And my experiences in member in safety culture group of UK have assured me to share some of my points. The very first thing is sustainable asset or infrastructure requires first thing it should be reliable. That is, it should work as per the specification over a time period. And the techniques used are reliability block diagram, fault tree analysis, event tree analysis, and failure mode effect and criticality analysis. The last one is based on physics of failure of the component. Then we come to maintainability. In case of any failure, what way we are going to bring it back to service very fast. So we require logistic engineering, very good failure reports and action taken, as well as supply chain management. These are the front end for QRAM. But there are some equipments, safety critical systems like railways, aerospace, defense, chemical engineering, nuclear engineering, where safety is also important. But all these things cannot work without human. So human interface requires skill development and based on human errors. And of course, finance. Throughout my life, I found for everything, finance is always giving objection. And that what is about our ROI, what is about the risk. So I'll tell all that thing. And of late, this climate change has also come into the picture. Now the best, what is the benefits? The first benefit is estimation of life cycle cost. We should not just think of procurement cost. We should think about life cycle cost which will be explained later on. We should take the best offer from various suppliers against tender. And after installation, we must have the best maintenance policy. We should check reliability and maintainability specification goals after installation, whether supplier has given some equipment, but after 3 years or 5 years, still whether it is working as per my specification. And prioritize various renewal plans and maintains extensive asset register. And finally, avoid performance-based maintenance control contracts. Next comes, what are the activities? I have numbered them. First, prepare your requirement, identify them, write a very good specification in unambiguous language, RAM allocation of the subsystems or equipment, then RAM analysis, then design analysis, logistics and supply chain management, reliability prediction and performance modeling, RAM data collection and analysis, RAM assurance, and finally, all these life cycle cost analysis with ROI. Then comes what are the logistic factors for total system cost. We, as I told earlier, we only think about the procurement cost, but there are so many hidden costs. Operating the system, supply support for spares and inventory, test support, maintenance, training and skill development, production distribution, technical data, and finally retirement of the system. Then comes maintenance support cost, maintenance management, maintenance personnel. You will have to pay salary, you will have to give training, all these things will come. Spare parts and inventory, test and support tools, maintenance facilities, training and skill development, transportation. You will have to shift your spare parts from some depot to the site. Then technical data modification. Everything requires a cost. Then comes for safety equipment, there are two types of safety assurance. One is discrete.
Excuse
You
me.
will have to do preliminary hazard analysis,
You have to,
system, subsystem, interface analysis,
sir.
hazard analysis. Hazard means a failure which can cause grievous injury or death or some effect on the environment. Then operation and support hazard analysis. But continuous of life, you will have to do hazard log maintenance. Yes, please.
So please conclude it faster. We are running out of time.
Yes, I'm continuing faster only. So next comes what are the components? Your mean time to repair depends on so many preparation, verification, fault localization, part procurement, logistic, final testing, and overall administrative. So you'll have to reduce everything, have a degraded condition monitoring, sensor-based remote asset maintenance, choice between a centralized or decentralized spare parts, failure rates, inspection time, repair time, and remember that repair is possible for failures having increasing limit unit cost, and for others we'll do replacement. Next, ROI, everyone knows ROI is expressed as a percentage and either profit or loss. If you give profit, the system will be probably worthwhile, and it depends on risk tolerance, investment duration, industry specific market, and competitions. Then comes factors on human, personal factors, task demand, equipment and plant and infrastructure, fatigue and trauma, procedures, training and skills, social environment, organizational management, and finally, external influence. Then comes climate change. There are two types. Physical, just two slides. It will take 2 minutes. So physical risks, acute or chronic. Acute are droughts, floods, cyclones, and wildfire. And chronic are sea level rise, weather. And transitional are due to stringent climate change policy for which you will have to pay money. And finally, we can use modern technology like video surveillance with expert systems, degraded condition based monitoring, IoT based remote infrastructure monitoring, AI, machine learning, and data mining. And I have used all these techniques. So I'm confident that it will work. Thank you.
Now the forum is open for the question and answers.
So there are questions from my side. It was a nice presentation, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Now the next paper title is Reliability Analysis and Risk Prioritization in Blast Water Treatment Plant. Author is Heston M. Brass and Suraj S. Rane.
मेल है मेल है और उनका भी मेल होगा ठीक है
Yeah. You know. You know.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Heston Dias, and I'm coming from Goa. I'm a marine engineer, and I was sailing as a third engineer. And right now, I am a lecturer at IMS and presently doing my ME. And my topic today is reliability analysis and risk prioritization in ballast water treatment plant. So the reason behind choosing this topic is because I was from a background of marine engineering, and the system which is there is used on ship. So trying to do the introduction, this system is very, very important on ship nowadays. And what has happened is because of the ballast water which is used on board, the ship stability can be maintained. And if that is not done, then the ship finds it very difficulty in maneuvering and doing stability. But by doing that, a lot of problems have arrived. So I want to tackle that part because research is not done on that. So in my PPT, first of all, I will discuss background of the study, problem statement, methodology, and then I will conclude. As I was telling you earlier, ballast water is one of the most important part today, and the number of ships which are sailing in the world are huge. And when they're transferring water from one part of the world to another part, unknowingly they have been carrying some kind of creatures from one place to another. Now, what has happened is because of this, after some period of time, certain creatures have been destroying the food chain, and because of which there are different types of diseases which have started arriving. Now, earlier what was happening is there was something called as ballast water exchange which was done. The idea is what that salt water will not survive in fresh water creatures will not survive in seawater. So that was the idea. So that's the reason things were progressing, but still people realized that is not enough, and then the mandatory code came in October 2019. And to understand this, I did a market study. I took data from a lot of experts, around 63 experts. And you can see the pie chart. The major portion is chief engineer. Chief engineer is the one who is having an experience of at least 15 years in marine field. So I have taken data from them. I found out what type of systems are good, what type of systems are creating problem, which are the parts which are creating problem. And from that, I found out that there is one type of system. One type of system which is better than the other one. And because of my connection with shipping companies, I already know that other systems are already not been chosen. So that's the reason I decided to select, two systems. And from those two systems, I already had an idea, which is shared by the experts that certain system is better. But I want to theoretically know whether it is very true or just the data which I've got, how far I can be accurate towards it. So first of all, what I did was my scope was collecting the data, doing research on that, and then trying to suggest some idea, some solution for it so that they can improve on it. Methodology, what I did was collected data, and then I wanted to make sure that the background or the data from the area I'm covering is already in the same statistics or same area. Like earlier studies are done where people have checked the water condition is making issues for the system. So I wanted to make sure that the ships which are sailing from Europe, so that the background conditions are same. And what I did was I took the ships which are having 4 to 5 years of age, so that that part also is not affecting my study. And what I did was I found out the reliability. I did the comparison between them two. Then I have done failure mode effect analysis so that I can prioritize the equipments. Risk prioritization I can do. These are the two systems. On the left hand side, I have called it type 1, but it is basically a filtration and electrolysis. And the second one is type 2, that is UV system. These are the two systems which I have chosen. There are other systems also which are then market, but because of my knowledge, I know already the other systems are not preferred, and these are the two systems which are preferred. Now, within these two systems, I want to know which is the better one for my research. So what I did with the data which I collected, I did some scrutinizing on that because the data which I took was from machine alarms and from records, maintenance records, and then I had to scrutinize some data I had to remove out, and then I did the using the I did the analysis for probability plotting, and I came to know that Webull 2 parameter and 3 parameter is very ideal for my data. And for that, I selected that addition value has to be less than very less, and p value has to be more than point 0.05, and the best p value I have taken. And with visual experience, I considered that Webull and 3 parameter Webull is very good. Okay, so the comparison here, you can see the graph as what I had got data from my experts. Same analysis came out that electrolysis is far better than UV, and UV gets starts deteriorating very fast, as we can see as the calculations what I have done and represented in the graph. Then what I have done is, again, I contacted the experts. This time I contacted the chief engineers, and with respect to that, then I assigned the occurrence, severity, and detection for both the systems, and what are the main components which are giving problems, those I have selected. And accordingly, I have calculated their RPN value. Now, while calculating the RPN value, accordingly, what I have done, I have prioritized them. Okay, I have prioritized them, and then accordingly, I have also done sensitivity analysis to find out how beta is reacting. Beta with increase does good at start, then creates problem afterwards, and same way for scale parameter. It is if you increase, it is giving good results. So these two things, parameter, these two analysis will help me in finding out if tomorrow I want to test it on other things. It will give me some idea. So conclusion, what I will tell is certain equipments which I found that were giving problems. So I have given suggestions that we should try to improve the design on that, or we should try to have whichever is having a high RPN value, we should try to have more space. Look, on ship, the problem is what you are on sea. You cannot have space suddenly. If you don't have space, you are stuck. And nowadays, if you don't have, if you are not able to run the ballast water treatment plant, you get stuck in ports, and everything means money. It is not just money, small number. It's money which huge numbers. And I would say fluctuations, whatever fluctuations are to be there for electrical also incorporated. For UV, I would say higher, better quality UV lights, or having more parallel lights so that your system gives better reliability. And future scope, I would say I would like to do more analysis with fuzzylogy and FMEA. And further scope, I would say like trying out this suggestion which I've given. If you can incorporate and then try out how the reliability has improved. So this is my presentation. The references which I used this. Thank you for your patience and listening to my topic.
Thank you, sir, for the presentation. Now the question answer forum is open.
The presentation was wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
That was really good. Actually, I'm asking the one question: which software you are using for the analysis?
Software for analysis, I used Minitab for finding out the distribution, and then I calculated manually.
Okay, so the graph.
Minitab, from Minitab I got.
Okay, so Minitab.
But the other after graphs I plotted separately. Those are not the reliability comparison which are there. You're asking. That I plotted separately with the calculation which I got. Then I plotted them separately.
So you are using any kind of software for this, right?
I used Canva for that. For the graph, you are saying designing. No?
Okay.
But first, initial the probability plots which were there were from Minitab.
Okay, so why don't you are using R Studio for this?
I don't have free version available for me for that. So
there is open source software.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay, it's okay. So why you are using Webull distribution for this? Because you said no, Webull is convenient for you.
It is fitting the data which I got was the best fit, considering Anderson value and p value. Other distributions were not fitting, so I could not go for those distributions.
So are you trying other distributions?
Yeah, I have tried all the distributions. Only thing I have not put it in the graph in the PPT here.
Okay.
The best was only for me Webull and Webull 2 parameter and 3 parameter.
3 parameters. So one is the shape, scale, and the location parameters. Okay, okay.
Dr. Shivani, if you have any question, you can ask.
Yeah, it was very good presentation. I want to ask one question only. How did you assess failure probabilities?
How did I assess failure probabilities? What I did was the data which I got, I did not use it in my what I collected was time between failures, ma'am. and that is the data which I used. And the failure probabilities I just as used as an inference for me, so that I will get an idea and selecting which particular type of equipment and also selecting which particular area.
Okay, as you, I have seen that you have collected data set yourself, right? So I think you can use the historical data for this or simulation for calculation of this probabilities if you want for further improvement.
Yeah, but then what the data which I collected from experts, initial data which I collected was taken with the help of Google Form. And what was happening there was a reliability of the data also, I was not very sure. Like the second data which I collected was with the machine records which gives out, and maintenance logbooks which are there from the airgod. And I had selected certain people because I could verify that look, this data is from ship. So personally I could not go on ship and take it, so I had to take it from other people, and only if the source was reliable I could take that data. That's the reason it was limited to a shorter number of data, I would say, comparatively. But to get a general idea, to compare whether this data which I got and whether this data was accurate and helpful, I could use the historical data which was given to me by the experts. So in it when I compared those two, it was giving me exactly what I had got with the experts. So that was like a benchmark which I used, and knowing that yes, whatever ships which I got these machine data was good enough for me.
Okay, and I have seen different types of risk is in your study. So how did you prioritize risk in the treatment process? Is there any like method
RPN
you
value,
have used?
whichever higher RPN value was there, uh,
Okay,
with that I calculated.
okay. Thank you.
My study is still ongoing. I'm planning to do physiology ahead and combine those two, but I have not done that yet. And I want to see whether it is affecting or it is giving any change from the present RPN value.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Could I ask just one question? Small, for one line.
Yeah, sure.
I would welcome you to get associated with Reliability Society. We work on all these things. So you can just contact with Reliability Society Hyderabad. We would like to get associated. And whatever you have done, all these, there are a lot of mill standards, defense standards. I work with all of them, so we can get associated and do better research. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
That was a wonderful presentation, sir. So moving on to our next paper title, that is Smart Battery Management System with Real-Time SOC and SOH Estimation. Authors are Sahil Mulavi and Suraj Rane.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I'll share my screen.
So we are actually running short of time, so please try to complete it in 5 minutes.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. My name is Sahil Movi. I am from Goa College of Engineering, Palmagudi, Goa, and my co-guide is Dr. Suraj Rane. So my topic for today is Smart Battery Management System with Real-Time SOC and SOH Estimation. So what is the battery management system? So battery management system is a system that manages and monitors rechargeable battery packs. Okay, it is used to enhance the battery performance and longevity of the battery. It is properly used in electrical vehicles and renewable energy storages. So why we use the battery management system? Battery management system gives us options like safety, efficiency, longevity, and real-time monitoring of the battery. Okay, so main functions of the battery management system are voltage monitoring, temperature monitoring, charge balancing, and estimating the states of the battery like SOC and SOH. So main components of the battery management systems are battery cells, which provide energy, and then we have the sensors that measure all the parameters of the battery, and then we have a master controller that controls the functioning of the battery and other functioning, and then we have a communication interface. So whatever the problem, hello. So whatever there is a problem or any issues with the battery, then we get to know. Okay. So main types of battery management systems are centralized battery management system, distributed battery management system, and modular battery management system. Centralized are the ones with which have only one controller manager and all the batteries. And distributed, we have multiple controller managers for the battery packs, and modulars are the both combination of the centralized and the distributed. So what are the main features that battery management system provides us? They help us to protect our battery from overcharging and discharging, and also maintain the thermal of the battery. So what is SOC and SOH? SOC is the state of charge. It basically represents the current charge level of the battery in terms of percentage. Okay. And state of health is reflects on overall conditions of the battery. Like for after the usage of the battery capacity degrades over the time. So I use the battery pack of 7.4 volt lithium ion battery, okay, for a device which I'm working in the company, for which I have designed this battery management system. So for the battery pack, I have used a microcontroller as a controller board, and then a relay system which will facilitate me to use certain features like chargings and load and controlling the coolings of the battery pack. So this is the flow chart. Okay. So when the system will start, we'll have the sensors, there is voltage sensor, current sensor, temperature sensor. That will take the inputs from all the battery parameters. If the voltage is below the critical value, then we have a relay to turn on the charging system for the battery. And if the current value is greater than 2.1, then we have a relay that will disconnect the load. So these features will help us to protect our battery. Okay, so both these readings will be used to determine the SOC and SOH of the battery, and it will be displayed to the user. Also, we have a relay to control the temperature of the battery. So operating temperature of the battery is between 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. So if the temperature goes above that, we have a cooling system for it. Then we have the estimation of SOC and SOL. So using the above formula, we can get the SOC and SOL, that is uh, V minus V minimum. So V is the actual voltage and V minimum is the minimum voltage the battery will sustain, and maximum is the maximum charge the battery can hold. Same way, we have formula for state of health estimation of the battery, that is remaining capacity upon the original capacity into 100 for the percentage. So these are the results I got for one charging of a battery. So the charging of the battery took me 6 hours of a time. So
Sorry,
similarly,
we are running out of
hello.
time. Please conclude it faster.
Yeah, okay. So we can estimate the SOC and SOL. So this is the SOC of a battery for around 15 days. So after 15 days, we can see that the battery is using more time for getting charging up to 100%. So if we collect such data for a longer time, we will be able to see that the battery degrades over a period of usage. Now, the application of battery management system, they are mainly used in electric vehicles, renewable energy storage, portable electronics, medical and defense forces also. Challenging in a battery management systems are the battery degradation, thermal management, complexity of the system, and accuracy with which you determine SOC and SOA. And this is the conclusion part, that battery management system is a critical system required for all the rechargeable batteries. Okay, it is system's ability to monitor key parameter of SOC and SOH of the battery are very important. And further scope is that we can use AI, machine learning, and all the Internet of Things, all the new method to estimate better features of the battery. Okay, thank you.
The forum is open for now question and answers.
So it was a nice presentation, and there's no questions from my end.
Dr. Shivani, do you have any question?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
So now let's move on to our next paper, whose title is Towards a Green and Safe Automobile Repair Workshop, a Lean Six Sigma Approach. Author are Vaman S. Sankar and Suraj S. Rane.
Hi, good evening. My paper title is Towards a Green and Safe Automobile Repair Workshop, Lean Six Sigma Approach. Hi, my name is Vaman Sankalkar. I am a PG scholar from Goa Engineering College, and I have done this paper under my guidance of Professor Dr. Suraj Rane. So, to begin with, small scale auto workshops are the ones which are having very less efficiency, and they are the ones who are focusing on the local economy, right? Yet they struggle with the operational efficiency. So my idea here, I tried to discuss and solve the problems. There were problems with respect to safety. There were problems with respect to environmental concerns, and as we can see in the Venn diagram, I have tried to integrate the safety strategies along with the green concerns using the Lean Six Sigma principle. So the methodology which I have followed is the DMAC methodology. In the define phase, I have identified key processes and identified some problems. In major phase, I have identified the baseline data, some safety incidents, and waste generation records. The analyze phase was I tried to dig up into some efficiencies and some safety hazards such as hazard identification and risk assessment and job safety analysis. In improve phase, I try to implement targeted solutions using some safety training, lean maintenance schedule, and some tool adoptions ergonomically. Whereas the control phase, I try to sustain the measures which we have implemented in the improve phase. And yes, so to begin with, in define phase, I try to identify key processes. So there were some operational delays. I had to record this time in a workshop. This was a kind of case study. And there were some of the bottlenecks, such as engine diagnostics, which was due to power outages. So there were delays. In wheel alignment, there were calibration issues with the machines. So this was the delay that was noted down. Whereas safety incidents, again, there were there. I'll go in the next slide. These were the monthly resources which were done, the baseline data which were estimated during the measure phase. The monthly cost, you can see the engine oil was consuming at max 63%, 64%. Apart from this, there were safety incidents which I had recorded after talking with the operators and technicians. In the analysis phase, I have used two tools, job safety analysis and hazard identification and risk assessments. There were 9 hazards which were identified and around eight components which were given to find out to make the job safety analysis. So I have identified the threats and hazards in operations, and the root causes showed me that there were two inadequacies, ergonomic concerns and waste management. In the improve phase, I have tried to reduce the downtime. So previous to the implementation, the downtime in engine diagnostics in the defined phase was 15. Now it has been reduced to 5. Right. Apart from this, there were some strategies, some ergonomics tools implemented, Kaizen activities done. After this, I tried to ensure that there was continuous improvement. I took a safety trend. We did some safety audits. From that compliances, I could note down there were some pretty good improvements. Apart from that, I also recorded the safety part. To address the safety part, I had to find out some data. I had to collect if there were any accidents, any issues. So there's some progress. So because of this DMAC methodology, I was able to find out that there were downtime reductions, safety improvement, as well as I addressed the green concerns by impacting lower environmental part. The challenges which I faced here, there was limited data, okay, and it was slightly difficult to find out more data realistically, and that is the reason the study is small. In conclusion, Lean Six Sigma can be truly used in small scale industries, MSMEs, and within such complex simple operations. But there are some complex steps involved, and which I was able to identify and work on. These were the references which I followed. I'm open for the questions. Thank you.
It was a nice presentation. So there's a one question from my end.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're working on the primary data, right?
Yes.
So tell me your sample size.
Sample size were done for over a period of 6 to 8 months. So I had to talk with the mechanics, the technicians, and I had to record data. So it was all handwritten. There was
Okay,
nothing.
so the sample size, matlab, that means what is the amount? 150, 150?
No, for example, for safety incident data, there were, I mean, for in a month, there were two to three safety incidents. Again, apart from the other than that, waste generation, also there were some reading. I mean, there were not readings that I was able to get.
Okay, so for your data analysis, your sample size is fixed, no? Like
It
50 sample size.
No, it was very less. It was 10 to 15 a month.
So which kind of software you are using for to find the results?
I have used Minitab 19. It was the trial version which I have used. And
Okay.
I plotted the bar charts and line graphs.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Dr. Shivani, if you have any questions.
No, thank
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, let's move on to our last presentation. The topic is fractional epidemic model for the ransomware Operation Kasika, and the author is Nivedita Kumari Vimal Kumar Mishra.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is moving?
Yes, ma'am, it's moving.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Nivedita, research scholar from Vinod Bhave University, Hazaribagh. My topic is fractional epidemic model for the ransomware operation named Kasaka. As we are these are the table of contents, abstract, my, and introduction. As actually we are talking about ransomware attack, there is a surge in ransomware attack in India in last few decades. Recently, for example, the AIMS New Delhi attack, ransomware attack, in which the threat actor has demanded a huge ransom against the data information of the institution. We are supposed to live in an environment where at each step there is AI based identity recognition, security concerns for each task related in using IoT devices, smart infrastructure, and many more. So we all are at the extent of cyber attack in each second. This paper actually concerns with the Kasaka ransomware operator, whose behavior is very similar to the black matter ransomware. The details are here. Actually, the Kasaka has used BYOVD technique, bring your own vulnerable device. And these are the literature survey. And let's come to the mathematical formulation. We have suggested here an epidemic model SE1, E2, IR, susceptible, exposed class 1, exposed class 2, infectious class, and recovered class model for analyzing the dynamics of dynamics of Kasaka ransomware attack and used blockchain technology that offers a potential solution for securing the data after this attack by providing a decentralized and tamper-proof for storing sensitive information. Here are the information, and this is the um, this is the system of nonlinear equations of fractional derivatives of Caputo order rho for this model. What we have used here, we have supposed here the all driver software in the system as susceptible population, and E2T is the exposed class of system where Martini drivers existed on the system, and hence the attack happens and the Kasaka proceeds. Even T is the exposed class where Martini driver does not exist on the system and the malware terminates itself and does not proceed with its intended routine. After that, E2T class of exposed population goes into the infectious class. After running anti-malicious software, the infectious class goes into recovered class. As we know that nothing is permanent solution to the cyber attack that we are facing nowadays. So again to the susceptible class. This is the system of equation with the initial conditions. For this system of equations, we have used a Laplace transform and Mittag-Leffler function for analyzing the non-negativity condition of the system and the boundedness of the system. These are the parameters of this model. Reproduction number. We have found this by next generation matrix method and obtained as this is non-dimensional quantity, and through this we know the behavior. We will able to know the behavior of attack. This is the disease-free equilibrium.
Well, can you please conclude sir? Actually, we are running short of time, please.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
This is the disease-free equilibrium founded by equating all the equations to these values, and endemic equilibrium are given as equating all the equations system to 0, and we have here the sensitivity analysis which will provide R naught, the reproduction number, to decrease and increase with the parameters. Numerical analysis, we have done it through fractional forward Euler method, and using fractional forward Euler method and MATLAB, I have found this figure. This is the time series analysis of population with the time, and with rho equal to the Caputo operator equal to 0.34. This is the behavior of Kasaka ransomware through infectious class and recovered class, and this is to exposed class 2 to recovered one. This is the conclusion. These are the references. Thank you.
Now the question and answer forum is open.
Okay, it was a nice presentation. So are you working on the primary data for this study?
Actually, I have supposed normal data for this because I have not gone on the field. I have suppose for this MATLAB figure, I have supposed susceptible population as a 1500, and then on the basis of my supposition, these data. Actually, I have only to show the behavior of Kasaka ransomware attack in the system.
Okay, so you just simulate the data and you are working on that data.
Yeah.
Okay, and you are using the MATLAB software for this.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Shivani, you have any questions?
Nivedita, you have used a fractional epidemic model, right? So,
yeah.
what advantage does using a fractional epidemic model offer over classical models?
The classical model offers suppose dy upon dx. It means the order of equation will be one linear equations, and I am using fractional that will provide, and I have used fractional order, Caputo fractional derivative of Caputo order that lies between 0 and 1, which will provide more accuracy. And the main reason is actually that the ordinary and the classical derivative use the simple phenomena or the dynamics that happen in the day to day life, but the fractional using fractional derivative, it will focus on the not only the present, also on the past and again the future.
Okay, so in terms of memory effect, right? Historical data
Yeah,
also
memory
it will
problem.
take.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ram. So let's end this session with a wonderful session. Professor Vijay Kumar and Dr. Vivek Kumar will facilitate Dr. Rashmi Vora. Thank you.
Please, we start we start both we start and बोलो यहाँ बोलो we start
सर ये थोड़ी होंगे यही जो
Let's start the next session with the 10 minutes.
हाँ मैं देख रहा हूँ क्या है
Evening, everyone. So start with the next session, that is artificial intelligence and machine learning. We have a session chair, Dr. A. G. Ramanti and Dr. Shika Badani and Dr. Aditya Gupta. Dr. A. G. Patel is an associate professor in mathematics at Maharaja Agresam College, University of Delhi. He has over 24 years of experience and researches stochastic modeling and AI or machine learning applications. Dr. Patel has published numerous national and international research papers. He has authored books on and probability distribution. His books are published by reputable publishers in the USA and India. Dr. Shikhar Badani is an associate professor in computer science at Maitri College, University of Delhi. She holds a PhD in computer science from the University of Delhi. Dr. Badani is a university gold medalist in MCA and electronics. Her research interests include malware analysis, machine learning, and web security. She has published several articles in reputed journals and conferences. So now we will start with our paper presentations. So may I begin? So the first paper title is Harnessing Big Data Analytics for Industry 4.0, a hybrid architecture of revolutionary technologies and predictive implementation and manufacturing. The authors are Adi Salman, Krishnapada Pangal, Shadivin Kabir, Kushida Kutun, Kusi, Rifat Shanawaz, Sir, are you there?
Hello.
Sir, you're audible.
Hello. Would you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Am I audible? I can hear you.
Am I audible? Ma'am?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
I am MD Abu Salman. I am MD Abu Salman talking. Am I audible? Am I audible now?
So you can share your screen now.
Yeah. Ma'am, could you please see my screen?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible. You will be requested to maximize your screen.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, you have 5 minutes. You can start.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great honor to be here today at the 4th International Conference on Recent Trends in Engineering, Technology, and Business Management. And I am MD Abu Salman, and I am delighted to present our research on harnessing big data analytics for Industry 4.0, a hybrid architecture of revolutionary technologies and predictive implementation in manufacturing. So we deeply appreciate the opportunity to share our insight with you today. Now I am going to start our presentation on behalf of all the co-authors. So here is the context of the presentation, which includes the objectives of the proposed work, the related works or literature review, the background theory or methodology of the work, block diagrams of the proposed model or design, framework and working techniques, proposed program, which is our main work, and the results, and the proposed hybrid architecture model, summary and future works, and some references. So first of all, the objectives of the proposed work. So our study aims to facilitate the transition of the manufacturing sector into the modern industry that is called Industry 4.0 by integrating big data analytics (BDA) with some emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, machine learning, and newly concept about satellite-based database-oriented cloud computing, which is SBDOCC. So I will discuss it after. Yeah, the system possesses a Python-based predictive model using multiple linear regression to optimize industry forecasting and demand synchronization, which is achieving high accuracy with minimum error. Additionally, a novel framework with hybrid architecture is introduced to enhance BDA integration, emphasizing the need for continuous investment in data-driven industrial strategies. So actually, our research have both qualitative and quantitative research techniques. It is a mixing research actually, which is to predict industry demands using MLR, to establish a compact framework, and to establish a sophisticated hybrid architecture. So and our methods are equipped with the next generation technologies and the BDA as I discussed before. So the expected impact of the work includes the BDA might transform traditional manufacturing into Industry 4.0. So our study uses Python with powerful scikit-learn tools and multiple linear regression, that is MLR, to forecast any proportional management factors linked to Industry 4.0, and it will be analyzed by the BDA, that means big data analytics, by obtaining an approximate 100% R square value. It is the coefficient I will discuss after. The R square value in MLR based prediction, our study beats current models and greatly lowers mean square error also. So this study uses a customized cloud IoT based database that is called SBDOCC. It is actually a database management system by cloud computing, which is enhanced by the upper layer of satellite communication, and BDA in Industry 4.0 to create an overarching framework with a revolutionary hybrid architecture to maximize the potential of big data and next generation technologies. So here are some related works that have laid the ground for BDA analysis in Industry 4.0. So thus some key contribution includes Several articles have published. I have included in the related work section. So Goswami and Ilketev, they present their study focusing on AI-driven supply chain management and IoT-based predictive maintenance. Both papers are published in 2024. So Chain and their co-authors present an interesting method of real-time analysis of industrial data, and Abhishek Sharma and their co-authors also proposed a nice system architecture of big data analytics in Industry 4.0, which leads to set up an interesting theoretical ideas of big data analytics. So there are so many importance and significance of this previous work, but the previous work didn't propose any comprehensive mixing techniques like qualitative or quantitative techniques together. However, they neglect to offer a consistent framework combining multiple linear regression for demand forecasting, where the Abhishek Sharma, referred as 10, offered an interesting approach in BDA theory, but not least to any practical or quantitative solution by the numerical analysis, where the conventional approaches lacks flexibility in response to real-time data streams, which results in less than ideal accuracy.
But we are running out of time. Can you please just tell the conclusion?
Sorry, ma'am.
So sorry to interrupt. We're running out of time. Can you please just tell the conclusion?
Sorry, ma'am. I can understand you.
Can you please conclude since we are running out of time?
Actually, our presentation slide is big, so it will take some time, ma'am. So sorry for for that.
Yeah, we request you to make it faster. So sorry to intervene, sir.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I will try my best. So, so our research purpose is some mixing research techniques which both have qualitative and quantitative research approach. So the things we used in our research are the general idea of BD analysis and some predictive machine learning approach in the data analytics section using scikit libraries, and then develop some framework and hybrid architecture. So this is the BDA process, which includes data collection, data processing, data cleaning, and data analyzing. Where the data analyzing section have some kinds, which can be descriptive analysis, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. So this is the overall working flow diagram or framework of our proposed work. First of all, the data collected from industry, from various sensors, and from the previous secret data, then it will be go to the pre-processing step, where the data will be in a similar form, structured form, and then the data will be stored in the local database on site and the master database on clouds, which is the SBDOCC. And then the data is given to the BDA integration process, where 4 kinds of BDA analysis can be performed. And after that, if there are any predictive or prescriptive analysis is needed, then the machine learning involvement is needed. So the machine learning section is based on the machine learning modeling, which is the MLR modeling, and it is equipped by several packages or libraries like NumPy, Pandas, scikit-learn, matplotlib. So by using this, we can employ the machine learning process very easily. So after that, the model evaluation is based on the MSC, that means mean square error R square of the model, and then finally prediction by the admin, and the admin can take the decision on the results or outcomes. So these are the some emerging technologies that we know, and I already discussed it before. So here our main work is focused on the what's the name? Predictive MLR method using Python program. So here we proposed a Python program using scikit-learn rules that can help the manufacturer create strong models to project production requirements depending on the past demand data.
Yes,
so
please.
using the scikit-learn libraries, the system doesn't need any kind of equation development association with the parameters.
Salman, can you hear me?
Uh,
Yes, please,
Hello.
please.
we are running short of time. Yes, please conclude.
Yeah.
Yes, next slide.
So, here it is actually the theory section of the MLR, that means multiple linear regression. It is actually a mathematical equation based on the linear algebra. So this is the equation of the input and output parameter that is involved in the equation.
But I request you to please conclude since we are running out of time.
Salman, can you tell me what is R square?
The R square value, it is the model's goodness value. So the R square value express the the goodness of fitting of our results. That is comes from the linear regression. So if the R is and it is calculated by percentage, which highest value can be 100%. So 100% means 1. So if it get the value 1, then it will the best evaluated value. So that is fit with the actual results.
Okay. My next question is, you have used multiple linear regression. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why not non-linear?
So non-linear means they will be non-proportional. Linear means they will be proportional, or that means the proportional parameters of industry. That means if the price of the product is increased, then the demand of it is decreased, and if the demand is decreased, then the required production of any industry will obviously be decreased. And by this required amount of production, we can predict the actual production amount or to be produced per day or per month.
Okay, Salman. Salman, see, I mean, I'm looking at your distinct title. You have a number of co-authors in this paper, right?
Yes, sir.
How many you have?
Sir, please take me some time. I will
Remember the co-authors. Chalo, take it. It's okay, Salman. I think.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Focus of my work. Yes, sir.
Are you sure that all the co-authors have contributed in writing this paper?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Salman.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we'll move on to the next paper title, that is dance technique with data science for vulnerability detection in cyber medical system based on IoT. The authors are Upendra Prasad, Vibha Kumari, and Vibha Kumar Mishra.
Sorry, ma'am.
Sorry, sir, we have the next paper title now. You can leave.
Ma'am.
Salman, you can
Can
leave.
I?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. So actually, my sound system isn't working properly, so I can get you properly from this. So sorry for the inconveniences.
We have the next paper title, the dance technique. So we have the next paper title, that is graphic for cloud security. The authors are Amit Kumar Singh, Singer, and Rahul Chaudhary.
Good evening to all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You can share your screen, sir.
Okay. Is it visible?
No, not yet.
Okay. Good evening to all. I am presenting my paper, which is multilingual cryptographic technique for cloud security. My presentation is divided into the following sections: introduction, problem statement, literature survey, proposed cryptographic model.
Excuse me, sir.
G. Yes.
So your screen is not sharing.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now you have 5 minutes.
Okay. So actually, we are working on the cloud security part. So cloud technology is defined with some characteristics which are the on-demand self-service, broad internet accessibility, resource pooling, rapid scalability, as well as the managed software development. These are the characteristics which a user can use to use the different services which are provided by the cloud. Then our main work is to the security part. So we are focusing on the cloud security challenges, which are due to the widespread adoption of this cloud technology, in which we are managing, the cloud is managing a large amount of data. So the data security and the confidentiality is a major issue there. So for this, the cloud providers are managing those data. So for safeguarding this data and application is a major concern for those CSPs. So for securing, we use cryptographic techniques for these. So cryptographic technique, basically we use the symmetric, asymmetric, as well as the hybrid cryptographic techniques, in which we use the same key as well as the different keys. Our work is to the multilingual cryptography, which is the study of the multi-level type of encryption, which is generated for the multilingual encryption techniques. So our problem which we taken into consideration is a solution for the cloud, in which we want to ensure the data and we want to protect our data. For that, we are developing an efficient cryptographic approach, so that secure data can be done at the CSP end. These are the literature survey, which is exploring some literature on our security part. Then here is a proposed cryptographic model by us, which uses a multilingual symmetric key algorithm to protect the different data in transit. As in the picture, we see the user interacting with the data center for getting the virtual machines. It provides the different information to generate the virtual machine in the cloud simulator. So this information which it transfers to the cloud center data center broker, it is encrypted by the using this multilingual cryptographic key, so that the secure transmission of the information can be done between these two. For that, we have proposed an algorithm which has some one encryption function, in which we chooses a number of languages. Multiple languages can be chosen as with the distinct phonetic structure. Then we write a plain text in a first language. Then we apply the substitution cipher. Then we translate into the first plain text into this language. Then we add the another security layer with the substitution part, and another we add another the Unicode. We have formulated into the mathematical expression, in which we are having some offset for the Unicode to convert one language into the another language. This is the pictorial diagram for this encryption part. And in the similar decryption function, we use the reverse procedure, in which we convert that language into the similar fashion into the another language. We are going to implement this into an environment which I have in our system, 64-bit Windows 11 operating system, as well as i5 processor. And we are developing it in the Java language in the Cloud SIM simulator. Currently I am proposing it. I have just implementing it. We will compare our result in our future paper for our work. This is from my side. Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions?
How you will check performance of your model?
Sir, actually, we will compare with the line of code, time of execution, and the complexity of our algorithm with the existing algorithms for the cryptography.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So you are Amit, right?
Yes, sir.
See, Amit, you're working on the data security and the data center, right?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, it's a little away from the paper that you're presenting, and data center is going to be a big thing in the coming years, right?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, the cloud security.
Yes, sir.
Can you kind of name some major companies, public and private, which are working in the data center right now?
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, I have focused only the private cloud part because we have the limitations in the research. So we are creating and our data center privately in the using the simulator. So we are focusing on that part only.
Are doing research on this area. I think ideally you should be knowing the top companies which are working in this direction, right?
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now we will move on to our next paper title, that is exploring the perspective of healthcare professional and student regarding artificial intelligence in hospital administration. The authors are Jigyasa Rathore, Akansha Singh, and Ujjwal Rao.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just give me a second. I'm sharing my screen.
Sure, ma'am.
Is this visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Just give me another second. It's not sharing for some reason. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
All right, great. Thank you. Just a second. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jigyasa Rathore, and I'm a PhD scholar. So this research that I'm presenting today, exploring perspectives of healthcare professionals and students regarding artificial intelligence in the hospital administration, is part of my PhD thesis, which is the assessment of perception and acceptance of artificial intelligence in healthcare organizations. So we're preparing a technology acceptance model. The first step of this was to understand the perception of, current workers as well as the upcoming professionals. So we looked into, the current applications that are there in hospitals right now pertaining to AI, that is automated scheduling, predictive analysis, decision support systems, and AI-driven diagnosis. We also looked into the ethical concerns, that is bias in decision making, data privacy and security risks, along with workforce adaptation and, job displacement fears that are very real when it comes to implementation or adoption of AI these days. So the research objective for this specific paper was to investigate the perception of healthcare professionals, that are hospital administrators, and students from the final year of MHA and BBA healthcare administration courses regarding integration of AI in hospital administration. The research question for this paper was to figure out if there's a statistically significant difference in perception of AI amongst both of these groups. The hypothesis is, the null hypothesis says that there's no significant difference, whereas my alternate hypothesis says that there's a significant difference in perception. Research methodology. This was a descriptive cross-sectional study conducted in Delhi NCR, and we used purposive sampling, wherein we found very few hospitals that have implemented AI. So we could only survey 150 hospital professionals, and to match that size and have similar groups, we surveyed another 150 hospital administrator students. The platform we hosted our questionnaire was on Google Forms, and we used a structured questionnaire. The inclusion criteria again was students of MHA and BBA healthcare administration, and the hospital staff that are working with AI technologies. Anyone else we excluded from the study. These are the demographic profiles of our respondents. Majority of the respondents were aged between 20 to 29 years old. So it was a young population. A lot of them were females. Majority were single, and the highest academic qualification from all cohorts. Highest group was of graduate students, no, graduate professionals, followed by postgraduate people. Now, these are the perceptions of artificial intelligence amongst the students. So here we can see that people, students were more positive related to parameters that AI can change how professionals approach patient care, and it could facilitate better resource allocation, and it could, significantly improve healthcare delivery. They were also it is a positive response since they believe that the AI will not compromise data security and it would not lead to job losses. They also believe it would create job opportunities. Whereas when it comes to administrators, they believe that it will not create as much job opportunities. It would lead to job losses and it compromise patient data security. However, both groups showed similar level of positive responses when it comes to how it would change how professionals approach patient care, and the tools that resource allocation. It would help with resource allocation and patient appointment scheduling and everything. However, the concerns for data security and patient privacy were higher in administrators, along with job losses. So, to test our hypothesis, we used a man-Whitney U-test, wherein we saw these responses. So, the highly significant responses were that AI tools can assist healthcare professionals, wherein students believed it higher. Similarly, uh, you know, related to diagnostics errors and decision making. However, when it comes to, as I said previously, with the descriptives that AI tools facilitate resource allocation and everything was seen equally positive by both cohorts.
Please,
Yeah,
please, do it faster, please.
yeah. Sorry, just give me 2 minutes. And when it comes to data security, patient privacy, and patient satisfaction, students believed it would be a better opportunity for it would be a good area for AI to be implemented and deployed amongst healthcare workforces. However, job losses and new opportunities was viewed as a negative thought process by the workers. So we also figured out okay, what is impacting this willingness to work. We checked out, and the testing showed that educational qualifications majorly impacted the willingness to work in both cohorts. So the conclusion would be that there is a diverging perceptions as we've seen in previous slides. Students are more optimistic and professionals are more concerned related to privacy and job security. What I believe and what our study showed so far is that we can bridge these gaps if we talk about and have an open discussion related to data security and ethical concerns when it comes to adoption of AI in hospital setting, since it's a sensitive area wherein we're dealing with patient data day in, day out. And we can also bridge this perception gap when we engage hospital administrators and students in early career. Yes?
Excuse me, ma'am, we are running out of time. Can you please conclude?
Sorry?
Can you please conclude it faster?
Yeah, I'm just about to finish it. So the implications would be that to bridge the gap, we, need more enthusiasm and more training.
Yeah, please conclude.
Impact. Next will be, working.
Okay, can you tell me what is the source of data where you have collected the data?
So we collected data from hospitals across NCR who have deployed AI technologies. Since we've also collected data for our acceptance model. So we first understood the perception of AI, and then we were working with the acceptance model. So we selected hospitals across NCR that have deployed AI in various administrative and patient care areas.
Okay, which type of sampling methods you have used in your data?
For this paper, we've done a purposive sampling.
Okay, why this type of sampling?
Because we wanted to understand why it, specifically related to administrators and their understanding and their acceptance of AI. So we talked to hospital administrators who have, in some or the other capacity, a professional capacity, worked with AI in hospital right now.
Okay, thank you, Jigyasa.
Thank you so much, sir. Any other questions? Any suggestions?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
इसको सलमान को लास्ट टाइम ये फिर इसको बोल देना ये वही है.
Okay, so proceeding to the next paper title, that is Prediction Model for Significant Variation of Italian Strong Mission Data. The authors are Chaitanya Bhargava Rela, Anita Sri Vadukarampu, Sai Dixita Palam, Jay Prakash Bumuri.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Am I audible?
Can you please share your screen?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am, you're visible.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, I'm Anita Srivarkapuram. I'm UG student from Mahindra University. Today I will be presenting my research on machine learning based estimation of significant duration for Italian stop motion data. Now coming to the introduction part, ground motion duration plays a crucial role in assessing structural damage beyond just pre-ground motion parameters. Various factors such as earthquake magnitude, distance from the fault, and shear wave velocity influence duration. It is often neglected in seismic design, uh, though its impact on structural response and liquefaction potential. This study explores the use of machine learning, specifically artificial neural networks, to predict ground motion duration. The primary objective of this study is to identify the best machine learning models for predicting significant duration in seismic events. By leveraging data driven approaches, we aim to improve accuracy in duration estimation, which is essential for seismic risk assessment. Now, talking about dataset, the dataset consists of 241 ground motion records from Italy. Key features include magnitude, fault mechanism, joint boot distance, rupture distance, and shear wave velocity. The data underwent pre-processing, including normalization, handling missing values, and feature selection, ensuring a high-quality input for model training. Now, talking about parameters, the input feature for our model are magnitude, fault mechanism, RGB, rupture distance, and shear wave velocity. And the target parameter is significant duration. It is defined as the time travel between the 5% to 9% of area's intensity. Now talking about artificial neural network, this is the architecture of artificial neural network as seen. It has three layers: input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. Our input layer consists of five features, and hidden layer consists of 11 neurons, applying weights and bias to detect patterns. And output layer, it predicts the significant duration between 5% and 95% of total energy. Now, talking about performance metrics, to evaluate the model, we used standard metrics such as mean squared error and correlation coefficient. A lower MSE and higher R value indicate a better performing model. These are the formulas to calculate MSE and R. Now, results for ANN. The ANN model was trained using a two-layer feed-forward network and Levenberg-Marquardt backpropagation method. The model architecture was optimized as 5.11.1 and the results are shown in the table. For training, it showed high accuracy, and for validation, the values indicate a good generalization. And for testing, it is showing reliable predictions. And this is the graph for correlation between predicted and actual output parameters. High R values above 0.9 confirm that model's effectiveness in predicting significant duration. Now talking about error histogram. This histogram represents the distribution of prediction errors. Most errors are in between minus 0.1 and 0.1, indicating our model makes very small errors. The yellow line represents zero error, meaning the closer the bars are to this line, the better the predictions. And these are weights and biases for our ANN model. ANN model use weights and bias to determine the strength of connection between the neurons. And Levenberg method was used to adjust these weights for better accuracy. This is the prediction equation we predicted initially. And later on, we derived this equation y equal to so on. And talking about sensitivity analysis. This is the formula for finding strength ratio, and here the graph indicates that sensitivity analysis showed the distance parameters such as rupture distance and joiner boot distance have the highest impact on duration predictions. Now I conclude that we developed a novel ANN model for predicting significant ground motion duration. The model showed high accuracy with R values above 0.9 and low MSE. Sensitivity analysis confirmed that distance parameters are the most influential. While the model works well for Italian seismic data, further validation is needed for other regions. Further work can enhance accuracy by incorporating more diverse data sets. Thank you.
In table 2, you have taken R. है ना? Just go to table 1. Yes, Anvita, can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
In table 1, you have used R, the symbol R.
Yes.
What is the meaning of R?
In table 2.
1. Table 1.
Share the screen, show us.
Correlation coefficient.
Please show the screen. Your screen is not visible.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It's
Yeah. It is correlation coefficient.
R.
R.
What is MSC?
Mean squared error.
And can you tell me what is R square?
I think it should be R square, no?
No, it's R.
So you're finding out the correlation only. That means
Yes.
I think it should come out in form of R square. I mean,
How we got interpretation of this?
In bracket, you are mentioning high accuracy, right? How you have come to this conclusion? Because if you are saying it is just correlation shows association between two variables. So what association you are looking here? Whether you are looking for association or you are looking for some impact?
Like we got the value 0.96, which is higher, so it shows higher accuracy.
If you got the value, better it shares some interpretation also, no?
Yeah.
So what this value interpret? What does it mean? I think this is the few suggestions which we want to suggest you. What methodology you're using, you should be thorough about it, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, in future, if you are presenting your work in some other forum, it will be like good, na? Yeah. Please go through it and see what you had mentioned is that is R or R square, one aspect. Second thing, whether you are studying an influence or the impact study you are doing, or just a association between the two. You are saying, are you looking for some factor structure, something, right? So go through it, and I hope in future you can make a good research paper, even though it is a good work. But only thing is that you require more clarity. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Vita.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So the next paper title is Twitter Sentiment Analysis, Understanding Public Perception of US Airlines. The authors are Deepika Bish and Rahul Munshi.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. A very good evening, everyone. So I would like to start by saying, is there any instant where you really come across any opinion about a product or a service on social media, whether maybe about a feedback, a great experience, or venting out a bad one? We really come across many on LinkedIn or Instagram or on Twitter. So, starting with the data thought, so majorly 80% of the customer, it's been seen that 80% of the customer do turn up to social media to share their experience. From airlines to restaurants, business are being reviewed in real time by their deputation, which is being shaped in their online conversations. So, with my co-author Rahul Munshi, I had to present a paper on the Twitter sentiment analysis of the airline industry. So, talking about why we have taken Twitter, as we all know that social media gives us a real-time feedback hub where people can really use their own vocabulary, which really helps us to understand and get what they really feel about things. So, we have taken Twitter, which is now known as X. And why focus on the airlines? Because airline industry really works on the customer satisfaction and service quality. So I maybe identifying the issues related to that will really help to understand what they need to improve in terms of their service quality, operations, or customer relations. And with thousands of tweets posted daily, manual analyzing is really impractical. So that is why we have used ML and NLP techniques to get the sentiment classification. Yeah, so talking about the research objective, our research objectives would be to really classify our tweets sentiments, either positive, neutral, or negative, and then identifying which airline were really having distribution of sentiment across airlines, and then what were the key issues concerning the customer satisfaction, and then building ML models to see which fits the best and what are the top sentiments. If we talk about the LR, so there have been many studies which have already been done specifically to airlines, wherein they have analyzed, used ML different ML techniques, and find out like in 2024 there was one where they analyzed the enhancement for the strategic decision making, and then there was a systematic literature review really helped like what are the critical tasks they need to follow. And then in 22 as well, these are the I've just put out the recent studies there have been in last 5 to 6 years. So maybe if we can move to next slide. Various authors have used uh, uh, deep neural networking, deep learning methods as well on that, and different TF, IDF, some TF and sometimes TF, IDF both. So yes.
Excuse me, you can make it a little faster. We're running short of
Okay,
time.
sure. Yeah, and talking about a methodology, we have collected our data from the Crowdflower's data for everyone's library, which is also on Kaggle now, which consisted of approx 14,000 tweets from February 15, and this was about US Airlines. So then we did pre-processing, cleaning, removing, tokenizing, and everything. And then we extracted important features using TF, IDF, and then TF, IDF. So TF, IDF fits the best with our data. Then model training was done. Talking about the results, uh, we could see that there were a lot of negative sentiments within our data, which were really 50%, more than 50% of the data. And these were the mostly word cloud that shows what were the number of, as we know that larger the font, larger is the number of times they repeated. So mostly customer service. Service was the factor that was there in all the feedbacks. May next slide, please. And this is how the distribution was there in the tweets. Maybe Virginia, America, and they have a very lesser feedback because of the less outreach and popularity, and similar wise the distribution was there in within the sentiments. Talking about the top sentiments that were in positive were which were like thanks, great, customer service, awesome, crew, gate, and plan. So plain. So these were the positive ones. Then similarly, we had some overlaps as well, but focusing on negative were related to luggage, cancellation, service, booking, baggage. So that were the major sentiments. Next, please. We did apply 7 machine learning models, and then we have this is how the outputs look like, and then we have based on their accuracy we have compared them. Next slide, please. And XGBoost really performed best out of it, followed by random forest and gradient boosting, adder boost and random forest. So this is how the XGBoost results look like. But this is because this is the highest accuracy and well balanced matrix, because due to their ensemble learning method, learning approach. So yeah, they had a balance between accuracy and recall. Next slide, please. Based on the XGBoot F1 score, F scores, we found out that these are the really important features that were in our data: late, cancel. Mostly negative were there, like customer issue, booking, grade, flight, help. So this is how these things need to be worked upon. Then we also try to plot, identify on the basis. Next slide, please. On the basis of the keywords, what were the really. Next slide, please. What were the really reasons of negative tweets? So this is how it looked like. Customer service was the highest, and late flights, and sometimes it was like they were neutral as well. Lost luggage and so on. So this takes us to that. If this will help the airline to really work upon their customer service, and this tells them basically how exactly where they need to work. So maybe this study or models like these really help them to work through the lot of feedbacks that they get over the internet. And for future, next slide please. And for future, maybe we can take, instead of Twitter, we can have more data from different platforms, and maybe we just took into account English, maybe multilingual tweets, or maybe different bird transformer models will enhance the study. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. So, in your study, which classifier gave the best result?
Sir, as I said, XGBoost really performed the good. It has the highest, and then for basically the ensemble methods were able to perform best.
Okay. Why not random forest?
So random forest is also there. It's on the second only.
Okay. Hmm.
See, you have combined the boosting and bagging method over here, right? Along with the decision tree and the cannon, even name method also. So how is the boosting method going to differ from bagging method?
Sorry, sir. How boosting is different from bagging? Sir, a boosting is a sequential method, and wherein multiple weak learners are converted into strong learners, so that every sample gets equal opportunity to be included in that. So this is how it overcomes bagging.
What about the bagging method then?
So bagging is a sequential method.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So the next paper title is Heuristic-Based Energy Optimization for Virtual Machine Scheduling in Cloud Computing. The authors are Sarita Kumari, Deepak Kumar, and Mohammed. Then you can stop.
Yeah, actually, ma'am, I'm not able to share because it's coming like someone else is sharing.
Fine, you can ask him to.
Okay. Deepika, please, can you?
Yeah, Rahul, you can stop sharing, please. Maybe I guess the screen is like freezed, I guess.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, it's done.
Ma'am, you're not audible.
Yeah, ma'am, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Sarita Kumari, and currently I'm pursuing a PhD from Amity Institute of Information Technology. And my title is Heuristic Based Energy Optimization for Virtual Machine Scheduling in Cloud Computing. And this research focuses on energy efficient virtual machine scheduling in cloud computing using heuristic based algorithm, specifically genetic algorithm and particle swarm optimization. And the goal is to optimize task scheduling to minimize energy consumption while maintaining high system performance. Cloud computing is essential for modern IT infrastructure, offering on-demand scalability, flexibility, and cost efficiency through virtualized resources. However, managing the power consumption of cloud environments remain a significant challenge, especially as data centers grow in size and complexity. This research explored the use of optimization algorithm, specifically genetic algorithm and particle swarm optimization to minimize power consumptions in dynamic virtual machine placement within cloud environments. And we implement these algorithms within the CloudSim simulation framework to model the allocation of virtual machines to physical machines in an energy efficient manner. And the proposed approach dynamically converts VMs into viewer host, minimizing the number of active VMs and reducing overall power consumption. The optimization algorithm considers factors such as CPU utilization and migration cost, aiming to balance resource use and energy efficiency. And we evaluate the energy consumption by comparing the number of active physical machines, the total energy consumed, and the efficiency of placement strategy. And the result demonstrated that by using genetic algorithm and particle sum optimization for VM placement, significant energy savings can be achieved without compromising system performance or quality of service. And the finding highlight the potential of optimization techniques to address energy efficiency challenges in cloud data centers. So one of the primary concern in cloud data center is virtual machine scheduling, which determine how tasks are assigned to available virtual machines while optimizing performance and reducing energy consumption. However, high energy consumptions in data centers leads to increased operational costs and environmental concerns. And already we know like traditional scheduling method like first come, first serve, round robin often fail to consider energy efficiency, leading to excessive power consumptions and operational costs. So to address this challenge, researchers have proposed various algorithms, including genetic algorithms and particle swarm optimization, to tackle the virtual machine placement problem. And reducing energy consumption without compromising performance is critical for sustainable cloud computing. So the key goals of energy.
Ma'am, can you please make it faster since we are
Reduce power consumption, lower energy use of data center servers, and prevents resource wastage by consolidating tasks, ensure task executions meet deadlines with minimal power, and distribute tasks efficiently across active virtual machines, reduce the environmental impact of cloud computing. And our research objective, to explore heuristic algorithm for optimizing energy consumptions during virtual machine scheduling in cloud data centers, to minimize energy consumption in cloud data centers using heuristic algorithms, and to optimize VM scheduling for improved resource utilizations, and to implement and analyze the performance of genetic algorithm and particle swarm optimization separately. So first we will discuss why we use heuristics. So in cloud computing, heuristic-based approaches are used to optimize task scheduling, resource allocation, and energy consumptions without searching through all possible solutions. Instead, heuristic rely on rules, approximation, and experience-based techniques to reach an efficient solution. And we can also say like it is a practical approach to problem solving that uses shortcuts, rules of thumbs, or educated guesses to find a good enough solution quickly. So rather than an optimal one. So genetic algorithm and PSO are effective for cloud scheduling due to their exploration and exploitation capabilities. So genetic algorithm that is based on principles of natural evaluation, and it uses selections, crossover, mutation to explore the solution space, and particle swarm optimization inspired by.
Previous slide. Can you please conclude?
Okay. So this study demonstrated the potential of heuristic-based energy optimization in genetic algorithm and particle sum optimization cloud computing. The proposed model effectively reduces energy consumptions while maintaining performance, and it effectively energy consumption for cloud virtual machine scheduling. And particle sum optimization performs better and faster convergence, but genetic algorithm offers more diverse solutions. So for cloud scheduling, particle sum optimization is preferred because it is quickly finds an energy efficient virtual machine allocation strategy.
Thank you, ma'am. So the next paper title is Forecasting of Peak Ground Acceleration for Italian Data Using Machine Learning Algorithms. The authors are Chaitanya Bhargan Narela, Sai Dixita Palam, Anvita Sri, Jayaprakash Gumuri. Ma'am, 3 to 4 minutes for the presentation.
Good morning, everyone. I am Pallam Sai Dikshita, an undergraduate student from Mahendra University. Today, I will be presenting my research on forecasting peak ground acceleration (PGA) for Italian earthquake data using machine learning algorithms. Let's begin with a brief introduction and to peak ground acceleration and why it's important. PGA represents the maximum ground shaking during the earthquake and is crucial for seismic hazard assessment. It depends on factors like earthquake magnitude, distance to the fault, geographical conditions, and fault mechanisms. Traditional models struggle to capture these complex interactions, so we apply machine learning to improve predictions accuracy using 241 earthquake records from Italy. With that in mind, let's move on to the objective of the study. This study aims to identify the best machine learning models for predicting peak ground acceleration (PGA). Accurate predictions help to enhance earthquake risk assessment and infrastructure resilience. Now, let's take a look on dataset in this research. Our dataset consists of 241 earthquake records from Italy spanning from 1976 to 2009. It includes 482 horizontal ground motion components. We selected key features such as magnitude, distance, parameters, RJB and RUP, shear wave velocity VS30, and fault mechanisms. Pre-processing steps include normalization and future selections where applied to improve data quality. Next, let's discuss these parameters in more detail. This slide explains key parameters. Magnitude represents the earthquake energy. RJB and RUP measures distance to the fault. VS30 captures the soil properties. PGA is the maximum ground acceleration, which determines earthquake impact. PGA
Objective your analysis part you have to explain. That's all.
Now, now that we understand the input parameters, let's look how different ML models perform, starting with regression models. Linear regression models was tested, including stepwise and interaction linear regression. We evaluated their performance using cross-validation and hold-on validation, two techniques that help assess how well the model generalized to new data. While regression models showed moderate accuracy, they were outperformed by more advanced models like tree-based and ensemble methods. Now moving on to tree-based models. Tree-based models, particularly fine tree, perform better than regression models. They effectively captured complex patterns in the data and achieved higher accuracy. However, another category of models, support vector machine, also showed promising results. SVM models, particularly fine Gaussian SVM, were effective in handling nonlinearity. However, they had limited generalization ability compared to Gaussian process regression and ensemble models. Among all the models tested, Gaussian process regression gave the most accurate results. Let's see why. Gaussian process regression, particularly the rational GPR, model achieved the highest accuracy in both the cross-validation and whole-lot validation. It not only predicted PGA effectively but also provided valuable uncertainty estimation. Another strong competitor was ensemble models, which we discuss next. Among ensemble models, boosted trees performed better than backed trees. These models captured the complex patterns well and provided strong predictive performance, though they were slightly less accurate. Moving on to neural networks, the three-layered neural network showed strong performance, achieving the highest R-square 0.82 in whole-lot validation. It was the best deep learning model for PGA prediction and effectively capturing on linear relationships. Now coming to residual graphs,
Ma'am, please conclude.
This is the SAP test summary. Conclusion. Rational GPR was the best performing model, achieving the highest accuracy. Neural networks and ensemble models also performed well, handling complex patterns effectively. Cross-validation and whole-lot validation played a crucial role in evaluating model performance. This study enhances earthquake risk assessment and infrastructure resilience by improving PGA. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we have our next paper title, that is Fault Detection and Localization of Power Transmission Lines using Traveling Wave Theory, a simulation-based approach with a proper algorithm. Written by Abu Salman, Krishnapada Mondal, Shahjahan Kabir, Bedre Haider Rafi, Faria Arifin Eshi.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you're audible. So you have just 3 to 4 minutes.
It is difficult to describe the whole work in 3 to 4 minutes, but I am try. Then I have to go to the direct work. Again, good evening to everyone. I am MD Abu Salman, and I am delighted to present our another research on fault detection and localization in power transmission line using traveling waves theory. It is a simulation-based approach, and it gives a proper algorithm. So, as we have very short amount of time, so I have to discuss the whole work in short time. So the main thing is when any power transmission line is mainly double-ended power transmission line is subjected to any kinds of fault, which can be symmetrical or unsymmetrical, then the fault can be analyzed and detect the fault and the fault point distance from buses using the double-end method based on the traveling wave theory, and our methodology is also enhanced by optical sampling detection and localization algorithm. And from the result, we can get a minimum calculation error, which is 1 quart or 0.25% or less than that. So this is some related works. So this is the Bewley lattice diagram of the double-end method in power transmission line. So when any fault is created, then a traveling wave is created, and the traveling wave is propagates along as the velocity, which is close to the speed of light, which is expressed as v is equal to 1 by root over of LC, where LC is the line inductance and capacitance, and the distance from these two buses, that is bus A and bus E, is calculated by this formula. So this is the algorithm fault detection and localization algorithm. It is our main algorithm. So it is used to detect the fault using any signal processing tools like MATLAB. So this is the flow chart of our work, and it mainly based on the provided fault detection and localization algorithm. So this is the overall arrangement with large scale and spectral relevance of the DM. So the practical setup describes its functionality on the theoretical structure. So it describes all the functionality and the arrangement of our work. So here we used optical sampling rate theory, as I mentioned before. So it is based on the Nyquist rate. So the Nyquist rate states that the sampling frequency will be the twice of the maximum frequency, and our relative error and the calculation accuracy of calculation equation is present here. So in the simulation, we have evaluated these three types of time, which is fault creation time T0, fault appear time TA, and the fault clear time TC. So this is the simulation model, and this is the distributed parameter of the power transmission line. It describes all the parameters, and here we sampled the simulation at 20 megahertz based on the optical sampling rates. So from this is the simulation results, which shows the first simulation curve, which is from the FRD1, and which is represented at the left, and the FRD2 at the right. So where the upper and lower sections represents the corresponding voltage and current respectively, and from the simulation curve and by the program we will get the fault detection time, that is T and T.
So we are running out of time. Can you please conclude?
This is the MATLAB core of our system. So by this program, we can detect the fault and also the calculated distance. So this is our outcomes, and we compare our outcomes with previous related works, and our outcomes is based in terms of accuracy and error from the previous work. So here from each length, we showed the comparison of our work with others, and the figure 6 is the accuracy comparison of our work with others. So this is the summary of our work, and this is the possible work and improvements. We'll try it after. These are the references that we used in our work, total 15 references. So thanks. I hope this presentation sparks meaningful insight of various technologies. So thank you all for your valuable time and presence. If anyone have any questions about it, then you can feel free to ask me.
Okay, thank you very much.
So with this, we come to the end of our session. It was a very wonderful session. Thank you so much, everyone. Now I would like to invite Dr. Aditya Kumar Gupta to facilitate Dr. Nitin and Professor Vijay Kumar.
अच्छा भैया थैंक यू क्लोज कर दिया सर सर ये